What's that noise?
The screen.
It's the fanfare.
Oh, it's outside. I think the window's open.
It's the pyro and ballyhoo.
Episode number 161, the Tornado Tag Podcast. We are live, and this is
given the weather report tonight. It could literally be a tornado tag podcast. That was me. I thought my laptop was on mute.
That's all right. And it is episode 161, Tornado Tag Podcast. We're gonna start all over because it confused us. But this is the history of the Bullet Club. So yeah, a little too sweet.
Cease and desist. Don't do that.
Yeah,
bring it.
They had that cool cease and desist T-shirt.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah.
Totally missed.
If they come after us, Kelly, we'll you just send you and you sign a little NDA and
the logo's gonna be on the whole time.
The good news is you get $2 million.
Yeah, that'll really help everybody out.
But then you make a shirt with cease and desist on it, super kick, and you make.
Now we're talking about the current news with Vince.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's get into this week in wrestling.
So sometimes we say it was kind of a slow news week. Not this week.
No,
not this week.
Just kept coming.
This was a quite fast news week, especially the last few days. So.
Actually, I'm sorry, real quick. Let's get housekeeping out of the way because I almost forgot. Listen, head over to iwepnetwork.com. Follow us on all social media. We do have a brand new Patreon out, so you can subscribe to that. There's no bonus content or anything. It's just general support. Helps us pay the bills with streaming sites and stuff. Make sure to on the social media you can follow us because we'll be at a lot of shows coming up. We're always at PPW and Outbreak and a lot of fun stuff. So yeah, and the community page is all there. So check out our links in the bio and come hang out with us and grab yourself a new T-shirt. We have some new logos up, and that's pretty much all I got. But let's go ahead, Brian.
So let's start at the top. Let's start with the headline news.
I have a bullet points for news in case we forget any of them.
Yeah. A lot.
So
this week in wrestling might take a little bit of time.
Yeah, we might have to give Bullet Club a short shrift. So I'm gonna read right from CNN Business. Vince McMahon, the CEO of WWE, is being investigated by the company's board for agreeing to pay a secret $3 million settlement to a former employee he allegedly had an affair with, according to a Wall Street Journal report. The separation agreement, which was reportedly made in January, prevents the former unnamed employee from, quote, discussing her relationship with Mr. McMahon or disparaging him, according to the Journal. The board was sent an email on March 30th that alleged McMahon, who was 76, hired the employee at a salary of $100,000. I believe she was a paralegal, and then increased it to $200,000 after beginning a sexual relationship with her. The email also alleges that McMahon gave the former employee, who was 41, like a toy to Mr. John Laurinaitis.
Oh, hey, Vince. I'd sure like what alternative that.
I need a little paralegal advice.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
So I think maybe Brian Danielson.
Well, it's not like she was in her 20s or 30s, but it's still it's no excuse. But
you're using your and this is where when people are like, well, the one comment. No,
you're 76. You're banging a 41-year-old. That's whoa. You're like hell yeah.
Yeah, but he's not banging them because he's a super nice guy and he's personable.
No, he's banging them to bang them.
Yeah, he's using his position of power and leadership to take advantage of lower employees,
and also
that's not fucking ethical.
And he's using company money
and he's using using hush money.
Assuming that NDA, and I have no reason to think it wouldn't be, assuming that was made with $3 million, how many of those people that they had to cut because of budget cuts could you have kept for $3 million?
Yeah, probably all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, like there's people that were also paid hush money, and they're like, wait, she got $3 million? I only got $1 million.
Here's the thing.
They're going to come out because they're going to be pissed.
And now, I don't know, maybe Brian can answer my question a little bit better, but why isn't he pulling a Yamir Yager and saying, go ahead, come out? Like, don't pay her the money. Just say, go ahead. It's one more feather in my hat other than being married.
He already paid her. Well, it's because he is the CEO of the company and it's an employee inappropriate relationship.
Right.
Well, if he used his money, it's okay.
Yager done the same thing with a young girl, and she tried to blackmail him.
Yeah, but if he used, like, I only know when he was on the Penguins. So if he used Penguins money, that's not cool.
Oh.
Is he a player or is he an owner?
Yager is a player.
Yager's a player.
So if it was player and a fan, right?
No, it was a player and another player's girlfriend.
Okay, so that's just being a horrible human and not being a good teammate or a good person.
Right.
Now, if it was the owner of the Penguins and he was banging his secretary and offering her a job for a share of sex, that's a business relationship there, and that's where it gets muddy.
Okay.
And that's only tolerated by the Washington Commanders.
Yes. Only we're allowed to pimp our cheerleaders out. Yeah. and take all their passports so they can't say no or they get stuck in the country.
That actually happened.
Yes.
Oh my.
Well,
Wow.
allegedly. Yeah. Hopefully he's gone very, very soon.
So yeah, so that is the story, and the controversy is that yes, he is the head of the company, and he used his status as the head of the company to basically give somebody preferential treatment because they were in a sexual relationship with him.
And
that is
now
a big
it's also
no-no.
coming out that there's a lot more NDAs that they're like,
I'm sure.
They say there are other NDAs.
I'm
Look,
sure there is. Well, Wall Street Journal said they have more to tell.
This is not a new thing. In the 80s, there was the first female referee in the WWF was named Rita Marie. And she was even on like Tuesday Night Titans. And they made a big deal about it being the first female referee in the World Wrestling Federation. And her real name was Rita Chatterton. And after she left, she later in the 90s went on a program called Now It Can Be Told with Geraldo Rivera.
Ooh,
Geraldo.
Ronaldo.
And she said that she went to Vince and asked for more money. And he said, yeah, let's talk about this. And they went in his limo. And Vince, how can we put this sensitively? He disrobed from the waist down.
Oh, boy.
He kind of pulled Rita Chatterton onto him and asked for oral sex. And then she claims that when she said no, he raped her.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
And it was never the only person who kind of backed up the story was David Schultz.
Mhm.
But Vince painted it that David Schultz and Rita Chatterton were just they had an axe to grind because they were let go, and that it was untrue. And by the time it became a legal thing, I think the statute of limitations was passed. But there are other allegations even going back to the 80s.
Paying off the cops for Jimmy Snuka when he killed that girl. You know.
a lot, all alleged, we'll say.
Alleged.
Yeah, alleged.
Yeah.
So they can't come at us
Yes.
because you can get hit for defamation.
I was just gonna say you can get
You're-
big time for
You're
defamation.
okay with this, but you're not okay with that.
Yeah. I don't think Jimmy's gonna sue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy. I when it initially came out, once again, I'm not trying to downplay it or say it's not a big deal or anything, but I just don't see Vince getting in trouble. But now that I guess it's getting more eyes and more attention, I can see this being a possible. This could be the way to dethrone Vince and maybe get new people and because the shareholders are like, whoa.
It would have to be a full-blown shareholder revolt, but here's the problem. It would have to tank the stock price really big because here's the problem. You know who owns about 83% of the shares? Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is where new leadership and maybe Vince steps away.
Or if the SEC gets involved somehow. I'm not a business guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a board.
But at the end of the day, I just don't think Vince is going to take anything. for it.
Unless more comes out and keeps snowballing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like they said,
Hold on.
rumored that Steph left
Hold
because
on.
she knew
I was
about
just-
this.
Oh, Steph.
And then
I
once
heard-
said she leaked it, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, she knew about this, and I heard also that they have a lawsuit against WWE that MLW does, and she was part of that whole thing too.
There's been a lot of speculation about why Stephanie left, and some people say it is the ML. I believe Meltzer may have said it was because of the MLW deal. Basically, MLW is suing WWE for, I think it's like antitrust or something like that, because they had a deal in place with Tubi TV, which is like Pluto TV. It's one of those free watch TV for free websites. They were going to have their show on Tubi TV, and they had a deal kind of all set up with Fox because Fox owns Tubi. And then because SmackDown was on Fox, WWE said, hold on, get rid of that deal. And the person that sent that out to Fox was Stephanie McMahon. So they think that's why Stephanie may have stepped away. And then there's other things that there's conspiracy theories that Stephanie stepped away because she knew this was coming, this story in the Wall Street Journal, and then she may have known it was coming because apparently a lot of people in the WWE locker room, and again, this is just wrestlers gossiping, but they think Triple H may have leaked it.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know until the truth comes out.
It's weird that
Stephanie
Stephanie steps away. Triple H kind of comes back.
I don't think Triple H is coming back.
I thought he's taking a role again.
Yeah, I thought
he's back to a point, but I mean, there's another guy who took a lot of Triple H's old jobs.
Yeah.
Never count out a Tennessee con man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be the double WE. Is what I'm saying.
It's interesting, man. It's I think, and then you said the Dunn thing maybe.
The Kevin Dunn thing, it came out that because basically what happened is there's a guy, Brandon Thurston, he has a podcast called WrestleNomics. He started it with a guy who's like the head of strategy in AEW now, Chris Harrington.
Yeah.
And Brandon Thurston kept it going when Harrington started doing AEW full time. but it basically is like Freakonomics for wrestling. And he just noticed that, hey, almost immediately before this story broke, Kevin Dunn sold a lot of WWE stock. And if he's on the board and he knew this was coming because there's an investigation, the people on the board have known it, and he sold a lot of stock before it was public, that is using insider information. Insider trading is highly illegal. However, it has come out since then that Kevin Dunn hasn't been on the board of directors in WWE for quite some time, for years.
Yeah.
So
But
he...
I can still see him. He's one in the inner circle. So he would know.
So it might have not been because of the board, but Vince would be like, "Hey, Dunn, this is shit's going down. You might want to sell.
I need more of those stocks, brother. I need more leverage."
I still zoom the camera out, of course.
Yeah. It's interesting, but let's speculate. I mean, everything's speculation and hearsay, but we'll see how it comes out.
Yeah, scandal. Not going to be good. Let's see what the WWE stock price has done today.
And now a lot of people are saying that they're like trying to speculate what wrestlers it was. Like if there was female wrestlers
It would
involved.
probably be, well, yeah, if there is, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I know Gail Kim never had nice things to say about Vince.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever touched her or anything like that. But maybe he made and said, "Hey, I'll sleep with you."
Yeah.
I'm sure he has.
Sure he has, with a
Especially
lot
in
of
the 90s
in
and
the
80s.
attitude area.
Crazy.
So the stock wasn't down crazy today. It was only down like 2 points.
Yeah, probably not until the news really breaks and starts being on TV and stuff.
Yeah. It's follow along, see what happens. What else we got?
So outside of that scandal, it does look like Randy Orton may be gone for the rest of 2022. There were reports that his back injury that he got in the match where him and Riddle lost the tag titles to the Usos, legitimate injury, and it's pretty bad, and he may be done for the rest of the year. And his age, you don't know if he's going to be done possibly forever.
Yeah, I can't see him being done. Even if it comes back,
Yeah.
it's like 1 or 2 matches a year.
Just maybe not full time,
Yeah.
like a special thing.
Such a bummer because we got to see his dad list this past weekend.
Very nice guy. I was so busy, man. I didn't take photos, and that kind of bums me out after a show that I
I
don't.
thought you had a photo with him.
Yeah, but at the very, very end, we were literally getting in my car, and he was just kind of standing outside by himself,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "I'm fucking doing it. Like, I'm just gonna go over and kind of get a quick photo."
Yeah.
And I did, and he was super nice. Like, he was a super nice guy. Everyone,
This is
I mean,
Bob Orton we're talking about. for
Cowboy
those people
Bob
that don't
Orton.
know.
Cowboy Bob Orton, super,
Pronounce that.
super cool dude. KH Promotions brought him and the Godfather, so shout out to KH Promotions. Go give them a follow. They're always doing like autograph bids and stuff
Meet and greet.
and meet and greets, and they a lot of their money that they pay for bringing talent to wrestling shows is they make money on their online auctions. So go show
Oh,
them some support.
okay.
Yeah, so it was a fun show. Next one's coming soon. But if you're at a show and you're listening to this and you're a fan or a talent, anything, dude, stop me and just ask for a photo for 2 reasons. 1, I like getting photos of people and I like to share those moments and experiences. And 2, it makes me stop my brain for 5 seconds to regroup. Like
And it makes you stop and smell the roses a little bit for you at the shows.
not just that, like I'm so focused on everything I have to do that split second we're just stopping and have, even if it's not a photo, just stop and have a conversation or say hi, because it makes me reset and it's super helpful. It gets me out of the zone a little bit because it's I drive myself crazy at those places, and not like a negative thing. Like I take it serious and I want to put a good product out, especially on commentary. So that quick stop and say hi is very, very helpful, especially with my ADHD. It kind of makes me like, yo, relax for a second. And but the fans and stuff are there. Awesome. The talent, I had a blast, but go check out PPW Entertainment.
Oh, and by the way, 2-time PPW TV
Yeah, where's the
champion.
title?
Right. My Jeep.
You should go get it. Put it on the table.
Maybe if I get a new title.
Yeah.
Okay.
This title's a little
It-
Little
it-
beat
look
up.
at
rough
that.
around the edges.
Paul Bowe, the rest of the PPW Brain Trust, if
Yeah.
you're listening,
We get
we
a,
would love to do a PPW TV title reveal
yeah.
on the
Yeah,
Trivia
how about
Podcast.
that? Yeah.
There you go.
nice.
I know. I thought they said they ordered one, but I'm not sure. That one and the No Limits title is in real bad shape.
The 10
The
limits.
10 limits title.
10 Limits title. Cut people though.
We
It's
almost-
a dangerous weapon.
We almost put the wrong title up.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because the No Limit was sitting ringside.
I would want to be like,
Oh, because it was,
Yeah,
that's not right.
And I looked at it, like, not the right title, and we changed it. But yeah, congratulations, you won the
Thank
ladder
you.
match.
Yeah, how about that?
A lot of people really enjoyed it.
Mhm.
We have a guy on TikTok who I put a post out saying, "Who's your favorite independent wrestler right now?" He said, "You and Quay." Like,
Oh,
he said,
wow, awesome.
You sold him as your new favorite, because
Probably a big
Oh.
RWF fan there.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
probably seen the match. It was very good, I gotta
Yes,
say.
it
we are climbing, man. We went from like 300 to almost, we're just under 800 subscribers on TikTok, so we can go live there soon. But I've been trying to make content on there, like
Mhm.
shorts, and I'm gonna start transferring those over to like the reels on Instagram and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
too.
I'm
If
sure
you're
we
not a
could do
TikTok
little
user,
wrestling clips. I mean,
Yeah.
no one's gonna.
Well, not so much clips,
30
but like-
seconds.
like how we did this week in wrestling. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think of this controversy?
I
And
mean,
then I
I-
make a small clip.
We can do a parlor trick where I name the card of an old WWF pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you could do my match. I don't care. It's 30 seconds. It's not like
yeah,
we're gonna put that on DVD.
Well, I already put some of your stuff
Yeah,
on.
that's fine.
yeah. So
While we're talking about too, big congratulations to Tom Mitchell for his PPW.
Yeah,
debut.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
Very
awesome,
well.
man. I'm super
I
proud
think
of
it was
that guy.
his third or
Third
fourth
match. It was his third
yeah.
match.
Third match
period.
PPW debut.
Yeah.
Shout out to that awesome
great.
Pac-Man suit. That was awesome.
Oh, his suits are incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He that is his calling card.
Yeah.
And I think he's told me his girlfriend picks him out. She'll like see a suit.
Good
Oh,
for
that's
her.
perfect. That's,
Oh,
that's
wow.
perfect. And she'll like
She
pick him out
dresses
for
a
him.
lot.
Yeah, super congratulations to him. No other titles changed to PPW, right?
Title changes? No.
No.
Tom Mitchell and Johnny Moran making his return. They did earn a future title shot.
With the tag titles.
The tag titles, but no. Tasha Steelz retained the women's title. Bro Keller retained the PPW title not by his fault, but by a run-in. Some hooded figures jumped him and
Yeah.
Honestly, I believe that was the only title change.
Yeah, it was a good card, man. Go check it out. And the tickets are on sale right now for the next show.
Home of the Brave.
Home of the
Home of
Brave.
the
Thank
Brave,
you.
yes.
I was gonna say Beyond the Brave or something. I don't know.
July
It's Home of the Brave.
17th.
Yeah. Already
yeah.
announced Brian Kendrick's coming back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's it for that I know of so far. That's
Yeah.
announced.
July 16th, I believe.
Okay. That Saturday. So
All right. Next bit
And
of
that's
news,
the Saturday
Uh,
before Legends of Hamburg.
Yeah.
yeah. Virgil. was
which
there.
we have.
Yeah, Virgil.
we have at Vox. If you're listening, you're gonna like this. We don't just have one lead up show to that. We have a few.
Yes.
We're gonna dedicate the month of July essentially to the Legends of Hamburg.
Oh,
Field Day.
okay. I
Up
was like,
until
where are we
the
going
show.
with this?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
This is our itinerary. So next week is the week before Forbidden Door, so we'll take a closer look at that. And you can't talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, and especially this show because it's in the main event,
Yeah.
without talking about Hiroshi Tanahashi. So this week we're going to talk about the bad guys. Next week we talk about the good guy. We talk about the ace.
Yeah. Then
And then, it's still June, so the next show after that will be June 30th. We didn't really do a proper like last year we did Jim Barnett and Pat Patterson. I think it's a good time to do like a proper look at Chris Kanyon, who is one of the more forgotten and underrated people.
absolutely, we're gonna do a
90s.
Pride episode. Yeah.
And then going into July, and we can. I know Ryan Vox is listening right now. Should we extend the invitation because I know he's
Yes,
wanted to be
absolutely.
part of this. The first show in July, I believe, will be July 7th. We're going to do our retro show where we look back at a little pay-per-view, the Great American Bash 1989.
If you want to be here in person, you can, or if you want to come in virtually, you can do that as well.
Terry Funk versus Ric Flair, Sting versus Muta, War Games with the Freebirds, the Midnights.
Mhm.
It's the Freebirds and the Samoans against the Midnights, and I believe Dr. Death and I don't remember who.
Spivey? No.
Uh-oh. Anyway, next.
Yeah.
Sid?
Well, no, the Skyscrapers are involved. They're in.
Oh,
They're,
yeah,
they're in other matches. That's a babyface team. The Midnights are babyfaces in the show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It might be the Road Warriors. It might be the Midnights Road Warriors and Doc. I'm not sure now.
Vox said he's in.
Okay, cool.
And it's all three Freebirds. It's Gordy Garvin, no Buddy Roberts,
Yeah.
but it's Gordy Garvin and Hayes
Mr.
with the
Hayes.
Samoans against. I'll get the full thing, and then after that, we are going to do the lead up to Legends of Hamburg. The next week, we're going to be talking about some of the sillier gimmicks. It's not going to be just people Legends of Hamburg, but the Goon's going to be there, so
Yep.
we'll talk about the Goon.
Get your Goon action figure
Yes.
signed if you got one. I did.
We'll be talking about my personal favorite. Maybe we can get Matt Turner on this show because we'll
Yeah.
be talking about the Repo Man.
Repo Man.
Repo Man will be there, and we'll look at the people
That
who are
is-
going to be there.
The Shockmaster.
Yeah.
Shockmaster will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cover like some of the gimmicks that will be
Uncle Free.
seen.
Oh, I was right. It was the Road Warriors, the Midnight Express, and Dr. Death against the Freebirds and the Samoan SWAT team.
Okay.
Yeah. And then our last one for the July.
Right before Legends of Hamburg, literally 2 days before?
Yep.
Booker T. Can you dig it?
Yeah. So we're,
And talk about a guy with a story. Talk about a guy who had a rough beginning and then made something.
Mhm.
Booker T is a great story for that.
there it
if you know
is.
his
So that's our whole lineup from now till July. And then
Yeah.
after July, we are going to bring back at least one show a month with interviews. We have a lot of interviews lined up. A lot of people have just recently reached out and said they want to do interviews.
Mm.
So very, very excited for that. And there's some people we have to reach out to that I just haven't pulled the trigger on that I have to set up for interviews. But interviews will be coming back. So we did non-interviews for a while, and we really, really thank you guys for supporting us, because I think a lot of wrestling podcasts kind of lean heavily on their interviews, because that's like they kind of bank on the guest to get them eyes and ears.
Yeah, if it's a bigger.
Yeah, and I respect that. I think that's a smart way of growing, but I want to make us the reason you listen to the show. I want you to I want the people to buy into us as the personalities, and not so much, well, who's the guest, and I'll never listen to it again.
Yeah, because when they do that, then it's like, oh, I don't like that guy, so I ain't listening to that episode.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, it happens with everybody. I mean, like a lot of people will subscribe to a good interviewer, and that's fine too. Like if you're Chris Van Fleet, people are going to be like, I like Chris Van Fleet because he's a great interviewer. Renee Paquette, great interview. But even those episodes, like Howard Stern, I'm not going to listen to that because I'm not a Miley Cyrus fan. I'm not listening to that interview. But I love Paul McCartney. I want to hear what he's like. So we wanted to base ourselves on not just being an interview show, but I feel like we're at a good spot now. Audio numbers are still low, but it was good enough to get us back in the top 250 in Apple. So thank you once again for the people who do listen on the audio side. It is very hard to gauge where we sit because we are on so many platforms at once. But thank you guys, continue for support, and we have a lot of fun content coming up.
Absolutely. And jumping back in the news, because there's so much of it. There's just so much of it. We'll talk more about Forbidden Door next week, because we should have a very good idea of the card next Thursday.
Yeah.
Because we passed the last Dynamite before it. Unfortunately, Dynamite this week did not do so great in the ratings.
Wow, it was a very good show.
It was a fun show.
It was 761,000 viewers, which is they were doing over 1 million there for a while.
They were doing.
But I mean, does that count people who stream? Does that count people who like?
I don't know.
I think it is same day live plus same day DVR, I believe.
Okay. Now, does it count if you're watching live through Hulu or just cable?
I believe so. It depends on. Well, it goes by Nielsen ratings, but a lot of
because Nielsen's outdated.
A lot of the streamers do use Nielsen ratings too.
It's always kind of a weird guess, because did anyone ever ask you what you're watching? No.
The one of the excuses is going to be, but then again, it's not really a good excuse. It was up against the game one of the Stanley Cup Finals, which did 4.3 million viewers. But then again, last week's Dynamite, which did 939,000, was up against the NBA Finals, which did 11.
Yeah, and you think in the U.S. basketball is more popular than hockey.
Yeah, it had almost 3 times as many viewers.
I think that's a little off because.
Are you on?
I don't know.
You're a little low. Stream.
Yeah, the mic is definitely on.
There you go.
Now I'm on.
Yeah.
I think that's a little off because I think people are starting to kind of cling to hockey a little bit more than basketball anymore. So that might be
who's in the finals of hockey?
It's the Avalanche and the Lightning, right?
Hey, then my gear really.
Colorado Bundies.
Your gear will be relevant again. We'll stick an Avalanche sign on your leg or something.
I should put an A on it.
Actually,
basketball is pretty far and away the second most popular sport.
Yeah, it's football.
Hockey is pretty distant fourth.
Speaking of basketball, I just watched that new Adam Sandler movie.
I didn't know
about the Sixers, or he's like a scout for the Sixers.
It's really good.
I've heard.
I didn't see it yet. Where's that on?
Netflix.
Netflix.
It's really good.
I did like in the trailer he's wearing a Federal Donuts t-shirt, because the best chicken sandwich I've ever had. Forget Burger King. Forget Popeyes. It's Federal
Chick-fil-A?
Donuts. Forget Chick-fil-A.
It'll make you hate Philly, though. It'll make you love and hate Philly.
Well, just from what you told me so far, it's on the list of movies to not watch for me. So.
Heidi does not like sports at all. She's not a sports person.
Yeah.
She really enjoyed the movie. As a movie, it's a good movie.
If I don't have time to watch stuff I want to watch, then I definitely don't have time to watch stuff I don't want.
Yeah, and Adam Sandler he's fantastic. He's such a good actor. He's
what?
I'm gonna put my.
I think he's a great fucking actor. I think he from where he is from Billy Madison to where he is now, he's a good actor.
He's good at what he does at funny man stuff. I don't know.
He's not funny in this.
He's not.
Well, the last okay movie, in Uncut Gems. He was okay in that movie.
Oh, see, I didn't like Uncut Gems. I thought it was way too long and drawn out.
Uncut Gems gave me anxiety.
Well, it was supposed to.
Yeah, I the only really couldn't watch it. But no, so if he's not considered a good actor because he's good at just being him, then Ryan Reynolds isn't a good actor.
Right. Yeah, he's not like a great actor.
Yeah. But
he's a good movie star.
But he's entertaining at what he does.
There's a difference between being a great actor and a great movie star. Ryan Reynolds is an amazing movie star.
Yeah. Then Adam Sandler's a good movie star.
Yes.
Because he's he's entertaining. Yeah. Not wrestling related.
Sam Rockwell.
You know who was a movie star for one movie and now she might wrestle again? Paige.
Yeah.
She's leaving WWE.
Yep.
Next month, July, and she said she wants to wrestle. I heard she was cleared before. She was almost cleared.
There was a lot of teases on different interviews. If you listen to interview podcasts like Renee or Chris Van Fleet and you listen to a lot of things, you'll get snippets of people saying things maybe they're they're not supposed to say.
Yeah.
And one of the things I think Beth Phoenix said in an interview, and a few other people, is like Paige has been working with the same doctors that Edge used.
Yeah.
And a lot of like outside doctors from WWE.
And I don't think her injury is as worse as his or as bad as his.
It seems like after Bruno passed, they kind of got away from that Joseph Maroon guy who was like very much, I'm not clearing anybody. And then the doors cut open a little bit.
And then speaking of the person who hurt Paige, also a movie star once or twice in Star Wars.
TV star, yeah.
TV star.
Oh, I thought we were going to say somebody else. Oh,
Sasha Banks, rumored to be getting in the process.
That guy's doing an indie show.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, in the process of being released.
Yeah.
So like lawyers and legal teams are involved.
Hey,
right
if you want to get released, now's the time to say something.
Especially if you're a woman, or especially if you know shit, you know where the bodies are buried. Now's the time you can get out of anything.
Yeah.
Ricochet should just make shit up.
Yeah.
Like, look, I saw this.
Yeah.
Me and Mustafa Ali, we
drilled a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
and we saw Vince and Johnny Ace.
Can I
You don't
have my
even wanna
release?
know.
You might even just say, "Can I have my release?" And I might just say, "Yeah," just to not deal with you at this point.
Yeah, but
if you went out,
would it also look bad if it was like a mass exit of flooding people out of a company?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That wouldn't be great.
But then you got to think, well, if I stay and all these people leave, eventually they're going to need people. Maybe we'll turn around.
Yeah.
You know, this is another way to look at it.
Oh no,
Unless they're
A
Ricochet.
lot of people
leave.
stay as shitty jobs for a lot less
yeah,
reasons.
Yeah.
It's gonna change. I'm like, oh.
Like some people, like, oh, does Sasha might stay?
yeah, you'll see a lot of NXT call-ups at that point. So you
Yeah,
see Braun Breaker be up really quick.
Well, I said when this all kind of, I don't know if I said it in our group chat or it all kind of blends together, but I said I think the way this is going to play out is Banks will be the one to take majority of the heat and leave, and Naomi will be back within 6 once.
They
once
haven't done
the
anything,
Banks-
said anything official with Naomi. I see them keeping her.
Yeah,
I don't see her leaving.
Yeah, Naomi's not going anywhere.
No.
I mean, unless they release her, but I mean, I don't know if there's as much demand on other places
and I think they found their next tag team champion.
as there is for
women's tag champions.
Vince and Johnny Ace.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Liv and Alexa Bliss. I think they're going to set them up.
They're not going to be Vince and Johnny Ace, the new dynamic dude.
Yeah, the new.
Yeah.
They just give the belts to them because it don't matter.
I would pay so much money to see Vince McMahon and Johnny Ace come out on Raw with the skateboards and the 90s like pattern tights,
Yeah, bright orange and pink
throwing
and blue.
frisbees out into the crowd.
The money instead of the bloodline, they can be the money line.
Yeah, dynamic dudes.
No,
too.
just a new dynamic dudes. Shane Douglas is back and somewhere in Pittsburgh going, God damn it.
Any other news?
NWA, new NWA World Champion Matt Cardona, unfortunately injured, had to surrender the title. So they had Always Ready, which featured the final match for now, according to him, the final match of Aaron Stevens, which he was defeated by Trevor Murdoch. But then because Cardona was supposed to wrestle Nick Aldis, because Cardona was injured and had to forfeit the title, they did a 4-way at the end of the night with Murdoch coming back and winning the 4-way against Nick Aldis, Tom Latimer, and Sam Shaw.
Murdoch got a lot of heat the last time he won it. People were like, "This is bullshit." He sucks.
Yeah.
People just didn't think because he's an old fat white guy.
Yeah.
And
Everyone has to be
WWE.
completely shredded and
Well,
be the same character to be
no,
considered world
but-
champion.
Was he really?
Their best guy besides Cardona is Nick Aldis, but I think they felt like he had it for so long that they wanted to do
Yeah.
something new.
I don't think
Sam Shaw just came in.
Even
That's Dexter Loomis.
if he wrestled the exact same way and talked the same way, but he was jacked, I still wouldn't put the title on.
I don't watch products, so I can't really comment.
Also, a new World Tag Team title. The World Tag Team titles changed hands. Mecha Wolf and Bestia 666 lost to the Commonwealth Connection.
That's a good name.
Doug Williams and the guy I probably would have put the NWA title on at this point, Harry Smith.
Oh yeah,
Or Davey Boy Smith Jr. if you prefer, British Bulldog's son. That's a good tag team.
that is a good.
Doug
yeah.
Williams is probably a little older now, but he was excellent.
Yeah, Chaos Theory. The
Won a Super Bowl.
Not that Doug Williams.
Oh.
when
He's
they do
really
the
old.
roll through German that what's his name does what the fuck's his name? Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody else got that but you, but that was just for you, Brian.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Doug Williams is a quarterback back.
Somebody asked this Doug Williams, how long have you been a British wrestler?
Yeah, Doug Williams was the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl,
Okay.
and the first question he got is a reporter came up, put a microphone in his face, and says, "How long have you been a black quarterback?"
Probably his whole life.
Yeah.
Another news item. Jake Atlas reportedly not going to be invited back to AEW. He tore his ACL in that match with Adam Cole.
Yeah, he did. Landed weird and.
But that's not why. He was arrested on the 23rd of May
Yeah.
for domestic assault against his partner of several years. And so he's probably not going to be an S back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rough situation. Or another rough situation. What a segue. Jeff Hardy.
Yes.
So we didn't get to talk about that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks, man. I
Got the DUI again. Poor guy.
Here's the deal. I understand that people are upset, and I understand people are mad, and I understand everything. But the people who are going out of their way on all forms of social media and just being like, "I knew it," like, oh, cool. You rooted for a guy to lose.
You
and
always
he
have
did.
It's just terrible.
That doesn't say much for Hardy. That says a lot more for you as a human.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like with people online, like, oh, shocker again. Like, sure, man, he has fucking demons. Like he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not giving him a pass because honestly, my take on this, I think he should do time. I think he should
help.
I think he should go away for a little bit. And I'm not trying to be cold-hearted and saying take a man away from his wife and kids. But at the end of the day, the repercussions of what he did, thank God he was pulled over by police.
Yeah.
Because he could have been the next Tammy Stitch where he took a life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or killed himself.
Yeah. Like honestly, like the biggest fear of getting behind when someone gets behind the wheel and drinks and drives is they kill not just themselves, but somebody that's completely fucking innocent.
Yeah.
And that's the worst. You know what I mean? And I don't want to see that for fucking anybody. Hopefully this is his wake-up call to get better.
He's suspended without pay.
Yeah.
And he had to agree to go to rehab now. So.
Yeah, I will say this. I will give AEW a little bit of credit here for not immediately saying, fuck you, turn your back, get out of our lives, but saying, you're not fired. Go get, like, kind of giving the guy maybe a little light at the end of the tunnel to be like, go get yourself better. And there's a spot here for you, which I think may help someone that's going through some stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think maybe some time, maybe a year or two, honestly. Like, I'm not trying to put somebody in jail, but you could have killed somebody.
And I know we've been down this road before, and people are going to point out, yeah, he had this issue in WWE and TNA and everything, but that's the reality of addiction. It's that if you talk to a lot of addicts, they will never say I'm recovered. They will say I'm a recovering addict. I am in recovery, because they know it is a temporary state of being and it can go away at any time, and they have to work at it. And so yeah, it's a horrible situation for everybody involved.
Yeah, most likely we're gonna win the tag titles.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I was hoping, but it sucks, man. If you're a wrestling fan, you haven't watched the Hardy Boys their whole career. Like,
yeah, it's been on TV, I think, for almost 30 years.
You know what I mean?
And HC Loc, he just announced, like, right before that happened, he's like, me, the Carnage Crew versus the Hardy Boys. I'm so excited. And then that happens the next day, and he's like, easy come, easy go. I was like, I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Loc's good guy.
Loc's great.
Great guy. Yeah, that sucks, man. I hope it gets better. I really do. I'm pulling for him. But don't be that person who just be like, huh, I fucking knew it.
Yeah,
like, you're not a good person for that. Sorry.
And give Matt, tell Matt, just rest.
Yeah.
Heal up.
Yeah.
Heal up
until Jeff comes back.
Do some yoga.
Yeah.
Get limber again.
Yeah.
Maybe
it can't hurt.
Maybe jump back into even just do now's the time to bring back Broken, because you could do cinematic and just stay and just do skits and stuff like that.
Just do goofies. That's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see you jumping off stuff.
Yeah, we don't. Even when Jeff
Fake
comes
jump
back,
off stuff.
Even when Jeff comes back, I don't need you jumping off.
Yeah, beat Brother Nero.
Yeah. All right.
Did we cover all the news?
Let me look my news. They released some NXT guy, but I didn't know who. He was.
Two Dimes. So he's one of Tony D'Angelo's people.
The Italian dudes.
Yeah, one of those.
One of them. Yeah.
They said it was a procedural thing, but they were very vague about it. Like, they didn't say why. But yeah, I think it was like, there's Two Dimes. I forget the other guys, like Stacks. I think it was Two Dimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was an indie guy? I forget what he wrestled as under when he was on the indies, but yeah, he was recently released.
I forget.
All right. So let's get into the history of the Bullet. We did really well, like 35 minutes.
One other thing.
Maybe we didn't do well.
No, this will be quick. Just came out recently that Zac Efron is going to be starring in The Iron Claw, a biopic about the Von Erich family, but it's not being released which Von Erich family member he's playing.
Oh.
He might be playing Carrie, he might be playing David.
I would assume
Carrie. You would think Carrie, because David David was one who was supposed to be the star, but then he died pretty young, and then Carrie.
He's playing
one-third
Texas
of the movie.
Tornado, right?
Yes.
Or Kevin. It could be Kevin.
It could be,
Kevin's a survivor.
I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but like Texas Tornado was the better looking of the, right? Like, he was the.
That's what they said. I don't think anyone were attractive, but hey, he had a great body.
Yeah. I looked at
Carrie
Texas
was probably
Tornado
the most successful David would have been had he not died.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're getting two wrestling movies. We're getting Hogan, and we're getting.
I guess as soon
I
as
think they talk about a Vince movie too. Well, maybe not now.
Yeah.
As soon as the Thor stuff's done, then I guess they're gonna start working on.
I thought he was. I thought he was
on
already,
Hogan.
I think
guess
he's filming it.
Yeah,
because
he's insanely huge.
He's huge. He's massive.
Chris Helmsworth.
I I don't fucking care about Hulk Hogan enough to watch a movie, but I'm kind of more
I'll watch it.
I'm on the lines to see it because I want to see how Chris Hemsworth does as Hulk Hogan. Like
might do real good. Yeah.
I don't care about Hulk Hogan. I just want to see him as Hogan and see how he does.
I'm sold. I was sold that Chris Hemsworth as Hulk Hogan.
It's gonna be awesome to see Hemsworth in a sex tape video. That's gonna be cool.
Oh, they might. I wonder. It depends how like the movie is. It all encompassing? Is it just the 80s?
Not on the top of my list for guys. So
Hogan.
No. Chris Hemsworth.
Just remember Hulk Hogan, huge penis. Terry, small penis. Yeah. That's what won him his court case. That's fucking amazing.
America.
Imagine having to openly say in court, I have a little dick. And you're like, give him money.
Yeah, but how does that even like what does it matter? Like
that was his defamation.
I know,
well, no, that was just something you said testifying. I don't think that's why he won.
Yeah.
It is why
they got him for defamation because
it depends on what your definition of is.
There's a whole big thing with that. That was that whole trial, that whole lawsuit was basically a billionaire trying to get revenge against Gawker and killing the company.
And just Hogan happened to be the middle person to use as the leverage. Yeah.
So this Von Erich movie, apparently it's going to be through A24 Films, which is like an art house type thing.
Oh.
And the director is Sean Durkin, who has done a few music videos. He's like a writer director. So it might be more of like an artsy, almost like The Wrestler type thing, more so than a
Is that Efron needs to get trained? We know a guy.
Yeah. He'll probably just
he did pretty well for the last movie.
Show up and like do a little bit. Like I don't want.
And he's like an actor that kind of fell out of the limelight for a while.
Wasn't he in Baywatch? That's all I can think of.
Yeah, him and The Rock. That tanked. He just did something. He did.
He's very entertaining.
I couldn't name one other movie off the top of my head.
He always plays like the frat boy jerk, but he's entertaining. He's good at what he does.
He was just
The Neighbors and Charlie St. Cloud.
Yeah, he was in the new Firestarter movie.
All right, well let's jump into our main topic.
Oh, he just played Ted Bundy?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh yes,
that was really good.
That was very good.
But we are jumping into the history of the Bullet Club, and the main reason why we're not just jumping on because of the Jay White stuff. If you look back, we announced this before it
is quite a coincidence. Jay White wins the world.
It's hopefully it helps some plays and some
title.
listens, but it was very good. But the main reason why we picked this topic is because we just came off meeting 2 Bullet Club members and someone who we kind of close to, a local guy who wrestled a lot here and then been doing really well on Impact and everywhere else. Ace Austin,
the reigning Sanctuary champion.
Yeah,
Ace Austin,
the reigning Sanctuary champion. Ace Austin is the newest
TNA X Division, whatever.
Yeah.
The reigning Sanctuary champion, Ace Austin,
the newest member of the Bullet Club, which is dope. It's super cool. What other members of the Bullet Club have you guys ever met? Any other members?
Yeah, well,
Gallows and Bay are the only, and now Ace. So I met 3 members.
I'm trying to think. I probably met Haku at one point.
Yeah,
I've never met any
Hikuleo will be at
Legends of Hamburg.
Yeah, Legends of Hamburg.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Probably somebody. I'm sure.
Jeff Jarrett, I've met.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett.
He was in the Bullet
briefly
Club for a second. I've met Jeff Jarrett. Yeah.
He had the guitar with the logo on the back.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Ace joins, and we decided we're gonna do the history of, and then some cool shit happened.
Yeah. They're back in the limelight in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but let's go all the way back to 2006.
Real quick in the chat, the Keeping It Kayfabe podcast says, "What's up, everybody?" Make sure if you're on YouTube or search them up and give them some love.
I wonder what their name means.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out. And be sure to join the conversation if you have anything about the Bullet Club. And while you're listening, this way we can give the chat some time to interact. Who is your favorite Bullet Club member? And also part 2, what is your favorite Bullet Club memory?
Who's your least favorite? Why is it Chase Owens or Takahashi?
I know. Andy's favorite might be Peter.
Yeah, I like Peter. Don't like Fale. Okay, moving.
Yeah.
So it goes back to 2006, and if you got to talk about the Bullet Club, you got to talk about Prince Devitt.
The real rock and roller.
Yeah, who we know now better as Finn Balor. But Prince Devitt before this, he was Fergal Devitt.
It was his actual name.
That's his real name. Yeah.
Fergal.
Fergal.
Yeah.
His real name
was Fergal.
I'd be Prince.
He's
still.
Irish.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's dumb names in every nationality. Let me just say.
I think Finn's better.
He signed with New Japan in 2006.
Well, Finn's his dad's name, so I think it's what is it? I can't remember. I
I
can't
don't
remember.
know.
I
now.
shall
It
now
was-
name you Fern Gully.
Finn has
Yeah.
something to do with his dad, so that's why he took Finn.
There you go.
Sorry.
And apparently, it's not just that the names are very good. I guess Japanese fans and even the commentators I think,
Couldn't say it.
had a
Couldn't say
very
it.
big problem saying Fergal
Fergal.
correctly.
Yeah.
So it became Prince Devitt. I think they originally wanted to call him like King Arthur or something. And
Did
he's
it.
like, I'm a little. They're like, yeah, he's a little young to be a king. So like Prince. They're like, okay, we're gonna do Prince Devitt because his last name is Devitt.
And he has like that, baby face look to him.
Yes,
Like
he does.
So early on in 2006, this abruptly stopped in 2007 for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know.
But they stopped doing this in 2007 for some unknown reason around the summer. He was under a mask as the second Pegasus Kid. And then it just kind of stopped for
Yeah,
no
probably just
particular
lost the
reason.
mask, you know?
yeah, that's
like,
probably what it was.
he's a good looking guy. He doesn't need to wear a
Yeah.
mask.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with anything else, of course.
Why like listen, I can see if like you're not a good looking person, throw a mask on, but like every
But
rest,
that's really
I
not
know,
why.
but I'm saying is like
it's also the reason nobody did a crossface for a long time.
yeah, stop putting good looking people under masks.
Well, sometimes the people feel more comfortable wearing the mask.
Yeah.
But then sometimes they take it off and it's not good. Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Hey, put it back on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if I was a professional wrestler, I would probably do a mask.
Yeah.
Just because
I wish I had a mask.
I just think
You
they're
know?
cool looking.
They're cool, yeah. I would
And-
have the eyes covered.
Would you?
Yeah, like old school Rey Mysterio where you can't see in.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to
I just-
wear a mask if I was a heel.
I would
No.
be very similar to you though with gear. Like I would have
Yeah.
so much
I
gear.
want to get some.
I
new
would be
stuff,
such
too.
a mark for myself and be buying gear.
Well, that's
Not like no, I'm just saying
And
like
you mark for
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
no, like
just
dude,
like you.
I have
a
400
good thing if you buy.
Exactly. I
lots
think
of
it's
gear,
I think it's
yeah.
cool to have more to offer,
Yeah.
especially fans or like when someone comes out with Mysterio and they're like, oh, gear, I want that action
Yeah.
figure. Like, do we have
It-
fucking 900 logos
It
for our
brings,
one
it
podcast?
brings attention to you.
Yeah.
When like you can wrestle and just plain stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But if someone notices you right away, like, wow, now I'm gonna watch him.
Yeah.
So you already got that guy's attention. You did nothing.
Yeah, just because you had
Yep.
cool gear or accessory or
Mhm.
something. Yeah, like how I think the bandana thing for you was a cool
Yeah,
move
that's a
because
great
now you
idea.
can sell bandanas to people.
Thanks, Chris Jericho, who got it from what's his name? The Midnight Express guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Dennis Conrad.
Yes, I couldn't think of
Dude,
his name.
I'd have 1,000 pieces of gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris
I
Jericho still with his hair, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did
surprisingly,
not see that
I
coming.
thought he was gonna be bald Jericho.
Yep,
and
I
he
Good
did
call,
too.
real quick. I
was
forgot.
Haymaker Jericho.
Dude, he fucking cut himself shaving his head.
That happens all the time. I told you that
Oh.
fucking the razor.
If
Try to use a razor on your head after
Is that
sweating.
my guy Razor?
Yeah, it doesn't work out. You're gonna get cut, especially if you're.
Didn't see it coming.
No.
Totally didn't
No,
see it
I
coming.
didn't either.
I liked it though.
Very good Dynamite this week.
It was
Yeah.
very good. I thought it was very
It
entertaining.
was a little busy.
Yeah, that a little too busy. That'd be my only thing, but
Yeah.
it was good.
All right, let's go back.
So,
to the
Better
uh,
be busy. It's better to be busy than boring.
So in late 2006, Prince Devitt turns heel, and maybe that's why he was Pegasus Kid. Maybe he was a heel as Prince Devitt and the babyface as Pegasus Kid.
Mhm.
He turned heel in late 2006 and joined. This is a rare heel run for Jushin Liger. This is when he wore the black and gold.
Yeah,
and
cool
he,
outfit.
he was in a heel faction called CTU. He was the leader, and
Ooh.
he
Went
and
from Pegasus Kid to almost having a name with CTE in
Yeah.
CTU. It was-
Well, it's closer.
it.
Liger at this point he kicked people in the balls a lot.
Best finisher.
And with this at this point he won the IWGP tag titles right after CTU folded. It didn't last too long. He won them with Minoru Tanaka, who was also in CTU as Heat. And then he formed an even more successful tag team after that. He went back babyface and with
Taguchi.
Ryosuke Taguchi formed the tag team Apollo 55. And they were a team for 4 years. They won the junior tag titles 4 times. Devitt also won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title 3 times at that point, and the 2010 Best of the Super Juniors. And Taguchi won it in 2012. So they
What's
were
his time
very-
frame right now of Japan run? Like,
2006 to 2014.
Yeah, at this point,
Wow.
he's a couple years in. Yeah.
holy shit!
Do you want to know what Taguchi's most devastating weapon is?
His
His-
funky weapon.
Yeah, his ass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. he's like slaps his ass and he runs, gives you like a jumping like what's her name used to do?
Like Tony.
Was it
Naomi.
Naomi, yeah.
Yeah.
The
She
review,
calls it
yeah.
the rear view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He does stuff like that.
Or
Mhm.
Chili Willy in ECW called it the butt butt.
Yeah,
Yo,
Ryosuke Taguchi.
fucking Britt Baker got me on Dynamite.
Ooh.
I thought she
Oh,
was
a
legit
lot
hurt.
of people
Yeah.
That was
bit for
good.
that.
That's fucking good. Sorry.
So
ADHD.
so in 2013, Prince Devitt starts to slowly show a more heelish side.
Which is not common, I get in
Well,
Japan, right?
in Japan, when you're saying somebody's turning heel, usually it's just that they are disrespectful.
Yeah.
They don't shake hands after a match, or they're just they just show a lack of respect.
They have mean faces.
Yeah, because you could be a wrestler in New Japan and never really cut a promo ever, which is not like unheard of here. You know, because it's more the real sports like aspect.
Well, here's a question, because I'm not going to pretend I know everything. Like I don't follow the New Japan product. So how is it that everyone clamors for Japan stars and saying New Japan's the best product in the world, but then shit on American wrestlers if they can't cut a promo, but they're good in the ring?
Because in America you need that, whereas in Japan
do you though?
You don't need that.
Who gets shit for being a bad promo, but they're not? Ricochet.
Sure.
Because when Ricochet was in New Japan, people loved him. It's because in WWE they make you do they try to put the square peg in a round hole.
But why can't we just be more accepting to the fact that maybe people aren't good in the mic, but they can perform?
Well,
because we know in WWE if you can't talk, they're not going to push.
Yeah, I mean, people will say that, like the guy that doesn't exist who won the title at WrestleMania 20. He couldn't cut a promo, but he's a very good wrestler.
Yeah.
So I mean, people say that in America, you need to talk.
What I'm saying is the same people who say this guy will never be anything because he can't cut a promo in America. But then we'll watch New Japan and be like, this is the greatest champion of all time.
What they've meant to say is he will never be anything in WWE.
Yeah.
Right.
If Chad Gable can cut a promo, but he's not tall. So if Chad Gable was in New Japan, he would be an upper tier guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in New Japan, you can do the football player promo.
Yeah.
Today, I trained real hard and I did my best.
They kind of make it. They kind of make it like a news scrum almost.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They have like the after match thing after the show.
It reminds me of like UFC.
Yeah, New Japan treats wrestling as if it's a legitimate.
Yeah, but there's never really the in-ring promo unless the guy wins the world title. Then he always cuts a promo afterwards. But you could just do the football player.
Yeah, just like thank you so much.
But that's when someone that does have charisma, like Naito or Tanahashi, comes out and like, wow, they really gravitate to him because now he has charisma too. But like Ishii, great wrestler, probably can't cut a promo that saves line. Not even in Japanese. So
where it's not a requisite in Japan like it is in the United States. In the United States, the way people book wrestling, you have to be able to cut a promo to really become a top guy, unless your whole gimmick is you don't talk.
Yeah. Fair.
Like they'll have him talk,
like Sabu.
Like Wardlow would never have to talk if he never said a word and just showed up and was cool all the time. He would be fine.
Yeah,
but they're still gonna have him talk because the perception is in American wrestling you have to talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like there's no.
You have to kind of go along with the soap opera.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like
more of a soap opera
in New
here.
Japan, it's match. There's no promos like through the show. Just the end when someone wins the world title. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. There's no backstage shit. Nothing. Just matches.
Do they do like segments of like in between matches? Like this is why we're here.
Yeah.
They'll do a little video packet. They're not as long as WWE.
Yeah, but because there's no story really, it's always I want to beat you for the title because I want it, or I want to beat you to get my win back, or I don't
you
like
beat me,
you,
now I
want to beat you.
Yeah,
that's
you slept with my girlfriend.
No, none of that. Never.
All right.
It's real. It's like real sports.
Yeah, like it's like UFC.
I'll eventually pull the trigger and start watching it.
As soon as the crowd starts chanting again, when they can cheer again, I'll come back.
Yeah.
So he's slowly being a little more disrespectful to his opponents. And then on April 7, 2013, Apollo 55 loses to the Time Splitters, Alex Shelley and Kushida. I think they dropped the tag titles there in post-match. Prince Devitt and King Fale, who's a big New Zealander guy, big Maori guy. They attack Ryusuke Taguchi, leading to a kind of a group there. The initial idea was they're going to be like Shawn Michaels and Diesel, where he was like the cocky little guy, and Fale was
the big bodyguard type guy.
Yeah, he was a big enforcer.
He was in better
guy.
shape then. Now he's kind of fat, but like back then he's a tall guy, but he's in better shape.
But at this point, because I think it was around the point that Albert left and became Tensai or Lord Tensai in WWE. So at this point, the only like non-Japanese guys are those two, and then Carl Anderson, who was over there, and Tama Tonga, Haku's son. And they were kind of friendly. So they said, hey, let's take all these four guys who all got along in real life and put them together. So later that night, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
They're like the Japanese clique. But they didn't like, they weren't. Yeah, anyway.
Well,
they were friends. They were friends in and out of the ring.
A lot of times Americans go together because it's easier to talk to Americans.
Yeah.
You know?
So Tanahashi beats Carl Anderson later that night. And after Tanahashi wins, Devitt and Fale come back out and attack him. And Tama Tonga joins in, and Carl Anderson joins in, and they all join the Bullet Club, which is what they name it. They knew they wanted Bullet in the title because early on they acted like they were kind of like a militia. There was a lot of military stuff with it, and the name that Prince Devitt initially pitched was the Bullet Brigade. And Bad Luck Fale comes from New Zealand, and The big sport in New Zealand is rugby and soccer, or the big sports, and they call their teams their clubs.
Yeah.
So that's where the club part came from. And so their first match together, they all joined up in an eight-man tag and beat Tanahashi, Taguchi, Manabu Nakanishi, and Captain New Japan, who was like the mascot basically of New Japan. He was like a guy in like a superhero outfit almost.
He's like it was a Aki man.
And then Devitt swept his way that year through the 2013 Battle of the Super Juniors. In the semifinals, he actually beats Kenny Omega, a pre-Bullet Club Kenny Omega. And the big setup was he was going to beat Taguchi in the finals, but Taguchi got legitimately hurt in the semifinal match, so he wound up wrestling Alex Shelley, beating him in the final.
Now, as a club, did they always come out like you would see in America, where they just like always cheat to win, or did they
to a degree?
Yeah.
The idea was it was a more American style stable where they are going to cheat and they are going to do more heelish things.
Because then you don't do run-ins in Japan.
Yeah.
My God.
But now they
distract the
would.
ref. You know,
Who was Carl Anderson, or someone said either about Carl Anderson or Carl Anderson said that he like this person. Oh, is it Shinsuke? Shinsuke fronted a lot of money to Carl Anderson when he was living in Japan.
I think so. Yeah, helped him out. Yeah.
But yeah, the idea is this was in a more American style heel. Now they're still not going to do the soap opera stuff like I slept with your girlfriend. But they are going to be like, the disrespecting was always big. One of the big stables in Japan in the 80s was literally called Team No Respect.
Yeah.
But this is taking it to another level, more American style with distractions and run-ins.
Yeah,
and
low
cheating.
blow.
Yeah. So Devitt, who at this point, this whole time, Devitt has also been the junior heavyweight champion. He announces that his intent after winning the Battle of Super Juniors is he's going to be the first man to be the IWGP junior heavyweight champion and the IWGP heavyweight champion at the same time. And then at Dominion, which is like their SummerSlam, it's like New Japan's SummerSlam. It's their second biggest show of the year, besides maybe the G1
which
final.
just happened 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's where Jay White won the title, but we'll get there later.
Before.
He beat Tanahashi. So he's getting a rocket strapped to him. He beat Tanahashi, who was like the heart and soul of New Japan, which gives him a title match against Kazuchika Okada, who is very, very young at this point. I think he's fresh off his excursion. He's coming back as the Rainmaker. He's like kind of a similar thing, like a very cocky, brash young guy. I'm the best and I know it type thing. And Okada says, I'll defend the title against you, but you're the junior champion. You also have to defend the junior title that night. And he's like, that's fine. And he does lose that match against Okada that July. And then he loses again to Tanahashi in a lumberjack death match at Destruction that year.
Jesus.
Not a literal.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah.
New Japan doesn't do that. It was just a lumberjack match with no rules, probably.
Yeah.
Now, is the Bullet Club where they are when, like, let's say later iterations here? Are they super popular?
No.
Are people clamoring to them?
It's just a Japanese thing. It's not a pop culture phenomenon.
Okay.
Yeah.
That comes much
Because they
later.
have that older symbol where there's no skull. It's
Just the bullet.
Club. Yeah.
Yeah. And
the red
it's-
and black one.
Yeah, and it's a little less visible. At this point, New Japan's starting to get some buzz because for a while, forever, New Japan was only really accessible if you like were on a torrent site.
Yeah.
Or if you were a tape trader. Like literally, you would have somebody, because it wasn't on TV here, you would have somebody tape it in Japan and mail you the tape, and you would mail them a tape of something they couldn't get from America, like ECW or something. And that's how wrestling circulated before the internet was tape trading.
Yeah.
That's how you found wrestling you couldn't get on TV in your area. And around this time, New Japan started doing pay-per-views on Ustream for like $20. You could order a New Japan show and watch it on Ustream. But in the United States, New Japan shows in the Eastern time zone, they air around 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So you had to be really dedicated, or you had to be a night owl to be able to watch New Japan. But that changes it a little bit. And part of it is because of the Bullet Club, because it is getting a little more just New Japan in general. Because it's not just a Bullet Club, but Tanahashi has pulled them out of the abyss, has pulled them off of their deathbed.
The Inokiism.
Yeah.
Which, he tried to make it like shoot style, but not work
Yeah.
shoot.
Well, yeah, wasn't there a lot of like, I remember the old, was it the Pride video game where there would be like a pro wrestler?
Yeah.
Like, they tried to mix martial arts and pro wrestling really heavily.
It wasn't.
But we'll discuss that a little bit later when we talk about AJ Styles.
Yeah.
They do kind of tie together, believe it or not. So that October, they get their newest members after the original 4, the Young Bucks, debut in New Japan, and they join the Bullet Club. And a month later, they win the junior tag titles. That December, they're joined by Doc Gallows. And
now you have Americans, like Americans who are in, but also Americans who are very good at marketing.
Yeah.
Like the
they were they in what year is it?
2014.
Okay, so they were in and out of TNA.
Yeah, the Bucks already
2013 to
always had a
2014.
business sense to them. Like, how can we not be just really good, but how can we really make ourselves stand out or like, and they use nostalgia to their favor. Like everyone's like, oh, you guys are like the Rockers. If the Rockers were a good, and they did the pose. Like there was always things like the Bucks that made them larger than life.
And then Gallows and Anderson and Rocky Romero start getting the podcasting. They do Talk and Shop, which is a big thing.
Yeah,
that comes a little bit later. So at this point, Gallows arrives. Him and Anderson win the World Tag League, which is like their big tag title tournament at the end of the year. And then in January, the Bucks win the IWGP Junior Tag titles at Wrestle Kingdom, and Gallows and Anderson win the main tag team titles, the heavyweight tag team titles. But Fale loses to Togi Makabe, so it's not all good stuff here. And Devitt, he was the junior heavyweight champion for this point, and they changed that title a lot in Japan.
Yeah,
he was a champion for 14 months, which is a lot for that title. And he loses to Kota Ibushi.
So the junior championship, is that just like the lower card championship?
Like a light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight. It's a weight class thing. Yeah,
it is a weight class thing. Yeah, there is something to that it's not just like the Intercontinental.
No,
and they didn't make a big deal about him not technically being a heavyweight and going for a heavyweight title.
I don't believe so. I think the idea is that you could be a junior and wrestle a heavyweight, but a heavyweight couldn't wrestle the junior.
Sometimes your goal is after a while to move up, but then some guys never do, like Liger. But sometimes they move up. He's now a heavyweight.
I thought Ospreay had to be actually legit become a heavyweight to wrestle.
He had to bulk up to make it look believable.
Yeah. I mean, they can work the weight, but he did add a lot too, because if Rey Mysterio is wrestling for the heavyweight title,
is there like, do they actually specify the weight?
No.
And
so
there's
it's
no
not like
weigh-ins.
It's not like 185 and under or 200.
Because a lot of Japanese guys, they look big on TV, but then next to the American guys, they don't look so big.
Like, for example, Ace is now part of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
If Ace decided he was going to shoot for the junior heavyweight title, he did. He was in that tournament, right?
Yeah, he was in the battle.
He could compete for both titles because he apparently muscle-wise he looks like he could wrestle heavyweight, but also he could also.
I would say he'd be in the junior. When you're a junior to start like that, you're in that for a while.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't see him going to the heavyweight. Not saying he never will, but right now I wouldn't see him going.
Yeah.
I mean, where they want you to be.
And then there's always the one show, the anniversary show, where the junior heavyweight champion always wrestles the heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Which is, but not for the belts, it's for a match.
Just for like a dream match.
Yeah.
And this year they're putting a lot of juniors in the G1.
Yeah. Not so many American guys. I'm a little upset. But apparently Dynamite.
A lot of the strong guys, New Japan Strong, which is I think their American show. Tom Lawler's in there, Jeff Cobb, Jonas.
AEW just got hit with that injury bug, so now they're probably a lot more hesitant to be like, you can go overseas.
Yeah, to send 3 guys over.
Yeah.
Injury bug, and we don't want our top guys in Japan for a month right before All Out.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's probably the bigger thing. So then Devitt, that April, wrestles his old partner.
I thought it was over. I thought I knocked my cup over. I almost cried.
Ryosuke Taguchi in a loser leaves town match. Loser leaves New Japan. And the Bucks try to interfere to help Devitt, and he's pushing him back. No, don't do that. Don't do that. And eventually they get sick of it, and the Bucks attack him. They attack Prince Devitt, leading to Taguchi getting the win, forcing Prince Devitt out of New Japan. And he does shake hands with Taguchi after. And the next day he announces, I'm resigning from New Japan Pro Wrestling because he had signed with WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And he's about to go to NXT and become Finn Balor.
I wonder if they were inspired by American gangs, by like you jump out, like you get jumped out of the.
Maybe, yeah.
That, and they were obviously the big inspiration was the NWO. Because like when the Giant left NWO, he got beat up. That was a big NWO thing, which they were probably inspired by American gangs.
Yeah.
So the very next match after Devitt loses the loser leaves town match.
Real quick, sorry to stop you. What was there like a Giant look like we're all buddies? Then he got beat up type deal.
No, the Bucks attacked him during the match.
Yeah.
Okay.
And cost him a loser leaves town match.
Okay.
So the very next match is a team from Chaos, Okada, who is the champion still, and Yoshihashi. They beat Bad Luck Fale and Tama Tonga. I should have mentioned that King Fale becomes Bad Luck Fale when he joins the Bullet Club. And after the match, Okada is attacked by a hooded man. A hooded man jumps in and attacks Okada. But right before he takes his hood off, he puts him up in a very familiar move, the Styles Clash. And before
it's Michelle McCool.
Yes, it's the Faith Breaker. Excuse me, the Faith Breaker. But and
could you imagine?
Oh God!
And she's loving life.
Yeah, she's loving life.
But no, that couldn't be. It's a woman in New Japan. That'll never happen.
You think so? You think it's changing?
They have a separate company. They have Stardom.
Yeah, so that's why they'll never. They'll just have a Stardom match.
They'll have a Stardom match on the show, but in Japan, the tradition is there are all men's promotions and all women's promotions, and not a lot of promotions that do both.
Yeah,
but you could have a show with both.
DDT will do it, but they'll have women wrestle men.
Yeah,
like DDT.
But DDT's wacky.
Yeah, DDT is a strictly comedy.
That's where Takashita comes from.
Yeah,
and Kenny.
Yeah,
and Kenny and Kota.
Yeah,
that's where Kenny wrestled the 12-year-old girl and got Cornette really mad.
Yes,
and Yoshihiki the blow.
And that's where they had the title where like a bowl of rice was the champion.
Love it.
And
I have to watch DDT. That's not on New Japan World, is it?
No,
it's on DDT.
They're a separate company.
Yeah, DDT Universe is what that's on.
Merge them all together.
Well, DDT is actually
capitalism.
The company that owns DDT. I forget the name of it. They own DDT. I think they own All Japan now. They own a few different. Tokyo Joshi Pro, I believe, or one of the.
They're starting their own company. Like you have to buy their own stuff to watch their content.
No, well, yeah, they have their own streaming network, but the parent company of New Japan owns them, Bushi Road.
Okay, so if you bought New Japan, you go watch Stardom as well.
No, not yet.
Separate. But
you think
Stardom
they would
World.
because that's the smart thing to do. And then the Stardom app, you can only watch on the computer. It's very hard yet.
And if you, real quick, I'm just going to throw a quick plug out there. If you are a Stardom fan and you watch a lot of Stardom, or maybe you don't watch Stardom, but you want to follow along and know what's happening, check out the Stardom podcast,
Cast?
the Stardom Cast, your tag team partner.
Yeah, I think it's called the Stardom Cast.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
Matt Turner. I'm not sure of his co-host's name or his host name, but
he lives in England.
Yeah, he did, a guy from America and a guy from England.
Rob Goodwin and Matt Turner.
There you go.
Every Sunday, it is called the Stardom Cast.
Yeah,
and I think it's like one of the only Stardom podcasts in English.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they actually their logo was done by the same logo artist as us, Haley Stokes. So go give them a follow. The Stardom Cast. Tell them we sent you.
So Devitt is out. AJ Styles is in. He has attacked Kazuchika Okada. And that leads to a kind of split where AJ is kind of the leader of the Bullet Club. It's kind of Carl Anderson because AJ is only in on the big shows for a little bit. But then at Wrestling Dontaku 2014, which is the first anniversary of the Bullet Club, they've been around for a year now. Styles and Okada for the IWGP title. And Okada is the leader of a stable called Chaos. They're still around, like Best Friends are all in Chaos. Rocky Romero's in Chaos.
Which sounds like a heel name.
It was a heel stable at first.
There's a lot of people that are in New Japan that just have stables, but they don't really like do anything. They're just a part of that group.
Yeah.
So they kind of have affiliations.
Yeah,
like in the old video games, they all had like affiliations, but that doesn't really
half of New Japan is in Chaos, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If
I'm not mistaken, what was the New Japan game that played PS4? Like it broke them up almost like No Mercy. We're like, this is Chaos, this is Bullet Club.
Yeah, that's the Fire Pro Wrestling.
Fire Pro Wrestling.
Yeah,
you're either in Chaos, LIJ, Suzuki
or
Gun.
Los.
Yeah, that's LIJ.
That's
Los
LIJ.
Ingobernables. They have both.
Yeah, I'm glad you did it because I couldn't.
And so one of the guys in Chaos at this point is Yujiro Takahashi, he was a guy who won a tag team with Naito called No Limit. Like an up-and-coming young guy.
Yeah.
An up-and-coming young guy. And he turns on Okada and Chaos and becomes the first Japanese member of the Bullet Club, which leads to Styles winning the title, only the sixth Gaijin, which is the Japanese term for a non-Japanese wrestler, to win the IWGP title. The first was Vader. And then you had a Russian guy, Salman Hashmakov, Scott Norton, Bob Sapp, who was an MMA guy when they were doing the MMA crossover.
He was kind of hot in the early days of.
Is he the first African American?
Probably, yeah.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah, it's probably still the only African American.
Doesn't Hogan count? Wasn't he?
He won a tournament, but he was not the WWF champion. And Brock Lesnar.
I say Lesnar.
Yeah. A month later, Dominion.
It's a good guy to have as your workhorse as your first fucking.
And technically, Kurt Angle won the belt split, but that's
that's
a whole different.
Yeah, there were two IWGP champions at the same time, and Kurt was like the one that doesn't really count.
Yeah, poor Kurt.
So then a month later, the Bucks do lose the junior tag titles, but other than that, the Bullet Club is just dominant now. And they are getting a little bit more popular, and they are getting a little bit of a groundswell behind them.
And they have their logo now.
Yeah, they have the logo like Andy's wearing now.
Does AJ have a shirt like that?
I don't think I think they just had this shirt and that was it.
Yeah,
I don't think they had
like variants.
Independent. Yeah.
Yeah, that came later. That came with like the.
Then they had like a Halloween one, and there was like a Christmas one, but it was just basically this logo.
Because that was such a popular shirt.
So
yes, that was in what in
Hot Topic.
Hot
not
Topic.
yet,
that
but
was
yeah.
old and
So this is we're currently in I would you would say like version 2 of the Bullet Club.
Yeah,
you would say by members like leaders.
You had the Devitt era, and that's over now because Devitt's going to WWE. Now you're in the AJ Styles era, and it's still building. It's still becoming more popular. just because New Japan in general in the US is becoming more popular, more visible. So
now, as Americans, you're listening. If I'm not interrupting, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. I'm not a huge fan. Like I'm not person on the product, but I know a little bit. So I'm just kind of. If you're maybe in the same shoes as me as a listener, I'm trying to like maybe put some gaps together. But if you're an American, you're like, well, what is the Bullet Club? And you're like, well, you take fucking DX and put and NWO and you put them in Japan. This is the Bullet Club.
Kind of like a cheap answer for it, but they're better wrestlers.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of that would be a selling.
The basis of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an American style heel stable in Japan where they don't have that.
Yeah.
And it's mainly non-Japanese wrestlers. Like Takahashi was like the turncoat because he was a Japanese guy that joined the Bullet Club.
Yeah, it was quite a while till they added another Japanese guy.
Yeah.
And so other than the Bucks losing the junior titles at Dominion, that Dominion in 2014, Fale wins the Intercontinental title over Shinsuke Nakamura. Yujiro Takahashi wins the Never Openweight title, which is their other singles title. Openweight, but a heavyweight eligible singles title. And then Gallows and Anderson are still the tag champions. So all the heavyweight titles at that point in New Japan, the Intercontinental, the heavyweight, the tag, and the Never Openweight, all four are Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So they have all the heavyweight titles. And obviously from there you got nowhere to go but down.
Yeah.
So AJ Styles shortly thereafter loses the IWGP title to Tanahashi when Yoshitatsu returns to New Japan to thwart new Bullet Club member Jeff Jarrett from interfering.
Yeah, because he was the Bullet Club hunter or something. He just got released from WWE.
Yeah.
He was on SmackDown.
AJ got him back.
Yeah.
AJ broke his neck.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
Really?
With the Styles clash.
Didn't mean it, but
yeah, not intentional.
Always look up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And like the first guy I ever saw take it like that was Frankie Kazarian, and I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Because he tucked his chin and it went.
Is that the one where AJ looked at him like, what the hell? Like, was that Impact?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Frankie Kazarian was dead. That was like 20 years ago or more.
Wasn't it banned for a while?
WWE doesn't like him doing it.
Yeah.
Only on rare occasions.
That's why we do the phenomenal.
That's why he does the forearm a lot. Yeah. That winter, Kenny Omega, once Devitt's rival in junior division, joins the Bullet Club in the winter of 2014. And he would defeat Devitt's old partner, Ryosuke Taguchi, for the junior title. And then...
So Kenny was a junior champion as well?
Yeah, that's it.
Kenny was in the juniors for a while.
Wow.
And Kenny, he was a different Kenny. He was Golden Lovers Kenny before he was in the group. Then he came in as the cleaner.
The cleaner.
That behind you.
And that is...
What?
The fig.
Oh, okay.
So when he's a cleaner, yeah, his hair is no longer blonde. It's like gray.
Yeah, he has like
Yep.
doesn't he have like a black streak?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has like black aviators, the black trench coat.
Sometimes
Like he looks like the guy. Yeah. Sometimes I think the Terminator, and then he says that there was a Japanese movie about this cleaner guy that would go in and clean up crime scenes and like get rid of witnesses and stuff.
Okay.
If you are a figure guy, this is just came in for me. I was able to snag myself a Kenny Omega AEW shop exclusive, so that's pretty dope. I am looking to trade. If you have the ringside exclusive Shawn Michaels that I cannot seem to find, it's yours if you want Kenny Omega.
so that show where that Wrestle Kingdom, and the Bullet Club isn't super busy in that one. There's like a 6-man tag with the Minute Gallows and Anderson have a tag title match. That is where New Japan is starting to build some steam in the United States. New Japan World is available, but you have to they're not really marketing it.
And it is in Japanese at that point, so they had to follow a thing.
Is this around the time you'd see everybody wearing the Bullet Club shirts on Raw and SmackDown?
Kind of. We're getting there.
I can remember watching it.
You had the special order.
Bullet Club.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was because that's all I had.
I mean, it is a very cool logo too.
Yeah.
I think I would say where I definitely got more exposure is when AJ left. Then I would say the next
We're
version.
almost there.
Yeah.
The next version is when the Bullet Club explodes.
Yes.
Yeah. We're almost there. And at this point, it's a big thing among hardcore wrestling fans because now New Japan World is there if you really want to seek it out and you don't mind listening to Japanese commentary. But that Wrestle Kingdom 9 in the beginning of
That's what Jim Ross was.
Yeah, at the beginning of 2015.
Did they start planting seeds that Kenny and AJ were kind of like?
No, not at this point. Kenny's a junior.
Yeah.
So at this point, that Wrestle Kingdom in 2015, Wrestle Kingdom 9, is when it's on pay-per-view in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
You can order it on pay-per-view. There's English commentary with Jim Ross, and I forget who the other was. It Jim Ross?
Is AJ also still doing? Is he Impact and New Japan?
No, he left
Josh
Impact
Barnett?
I don't think it was Josh.
No, not yet. It was Kevin Kelly. No.
Might have been Kevin Kelly. Might have been. Was it not Don Callis? Who would have been? I don't remember.
I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
But
Don Callis was on.
Was it Rocky?
I don't think so.
No, I forget. Jeez.
If you're in the chat, you know. Let us know.
Let's say Josh Barnett.
It could have been. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's what I'm thinking.
I love Barnett.
Yeah, and you could buy it on. I think you could buy it on Fight. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was on regular pay-per-view. It was actually because this is when Jarrett was involved. It was a co-production with Global Force.
That's right. Yeah.
It was Jim Ross and Matt Stryker.
Oh wow,
all people. Yeah,
Matt
Stryker. So I actually ordered that. It was on tape delay. I ordered the pay. It was like $30 or something like that.
Yeah, I watch it too.
And
Quite nefarious.
Yeah, the main event was Okada and Tanahashi. Tanahashi keeps the title. AJ beat Naito. Naito wasn't quite yet. Los Ingobernables Naito at this point, but AJ beats him. The Bucks, I think they either won. I think they lost the tag titles.
I think they were in a 3-way.
They were in a 4-way. It was like them, Forever Hooligans, Red Dragon, and somebody else.
We just added Red Dragon to the table somewhere.
Oh, that sticker's cool from the box.
I think it's underneath your pad.
Yeah, I have that on my one cabinet thing. It's real cool.
But yeah, even though Tanahashi is able to defeat Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, the next big show is New Beginnings in February, and this is a big night for Bullet Club. The Bucks win the junior titles back. Omega keeps the singles junior IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Gallows and Anderson win the tag titles back, and
so they have light and heavyweight tag team titles too.
Yes,
cool.
And Styles becomes a 2-time IWGP champion by beating Tanahashi. So now again, the Bullet Club has the IWGP title, the IWGP Junior title, and both tag titles. So again, they're riding high, very high.
Do they have the Intercontinental at this point? Is there an Intercontinental?
No, at this point, Nakamura was Intercontinental champion.
Okay. And but the title exists.
Yeah, it exists, but they don't have it.
And was a U.S. title introduced yet?
Not yet.
That's for a couple years off. There was the Never title and the Never 6-man, but they're kind of like
Never 6-man. I don't even think was around yet.
Oh yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Styles loses that title to Okada at Dominion, and then Wrestle Kingdom 10 in January. This is where we have a big sea change. The Bullet Club is involved in 3 title matches, and they lose 4 of them, including Omega losing the junior heavyweight title to Kushida. And the next night is now we're going to get to the point where it starts to explode because New Japan World is bigger now. I think that was the first Wrestle Kingdom where they had English commentary. They didn't have it on every big show now, but they brought in Kevin Kelly and
you could sign up an English page.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Before you had to go on Google Chrome and translate it. Yeah.
That's dedication.
Yeah, you had to.
That's when I did it.
You had to work for it. Yeah.
So you tried to translate all
Japanese. New Japan World can be very tricky to navigate.
It's still it wasn't the best app. It still isn't, but yeah, I had to. That day, I want to learn a little Japanese so I can read. Now I could I can see some stuff. I mean, I can't read fluent, but
so New Japan actually teetered you to start learning.
Japanese. Every time when Japanese wrestlers wrestle, they always have their names up in the corner. Who's wrestling who, and it will say like Intercontinental match, whatever, world title, heavyweight. So and then you can see the
translation. Yeah.
It's all Japanese.
Yeah.
But that's how I would learn because like, well, that's his name, and then you break it down, and it's all like phonetic.
Yeah.
So like Shinsuke, but it's like Shin like that. So it's like SHI. So the way you see it is the way you say it.
Yeah.
Like it's.
I have the New Japan. Well, I don't think they're winning. One of them is technically a New Japan game. The other ones are just like pro. The ones for N64.
Well, the Virtual Pro Wrestling 1 and 2 are New Japan games.
Yeah. I own both of those, and I actually modded my N64 to play them.
And there's Token Road,
but I have no idea how to pick what match types I'm in.
I had the WCW.
That would be me.
Yeah,
I had Revenge and World Tour, and
what kind of characters am I looking
for
at?
all the menus and stuff? It would be in katakana and hiragana.
Did you play the N64 wrestling games?
No, I didn't have N64.
So the N64 wrestling games
are the best wrestling games.
They were fantastic, but even in the American ones, you can take Kane, and when everyone's talking about is Kane joint, you can make his gear green.
Yeah, you could edit everyone.
You could edit everybody, but I think New Japan
with WCW and NWO Revenge.
But I think the New Japan one was almost like a mix between Virtual Pro and you were able to do more, right? I just can't.
No, it was the same. They were the exact same game.
No, I thought you were able to do a little more with movesets and stuff. I thought there was more.
I think that came with the WWE games.
Yeah.
So I thought
WrestleMania 2000 you could mess with movesets.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know all the features to it because I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. There is ways you can download it online. If someone knows how,
Fire Pro is very customizable.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying there's a way you can download the virtual games
emulator
on
and stuff,
on an emulator on your computer and it translates the game so you can play.
Oh, yeah, I have translation files like the Retron does that. So I played like whole role playing games like the Sailor Moon one with the translation file. You apply it, and then
someone help me get those.
But
files.
then sometimes the translation file isn't the best. You're like, that doesn't make sense.
I would love to be able to play those games.
But at least for a wrestling game, there's no story mode.
I just want to be able to see the features and actually know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And if I learn and play a little bit on my computer on PC and then I put it on console,
well, back in the day,
I know how to navigate it.
An FAQ they were called, and facts and questions. And it would say, "This is for this screen. Here's the first selection. Here's what the second one is."
It's a lot of work, man. Especially in 2022. It's like
we don't have time for that. We barely have time for a 10-second video on TikTok.
Yeah, it's fucking. I got things to do. But yeah, fun games. God, I'm sorry.
So now we're getting to the point where after that, after the Wrestle Kingdom show, you would always have New Year's Dash, which is your big show after it. And they'd always try to do a big angle for New Year's Dash.
Yeah,
and the big angle
start the new storylines.
And the big angle this year is AJ Styles gets jumped. He gets beat up by Kenny Omega and the rest of the Bullet Club, and he's out.
Now, just a red flag. People like he's leaving.
Yes.
It kind of broke before that. Like the night before, Styles and Nakamura wrestled for the Intercontinental title, and it kind of came out like, yeah, they're probably both gone. They're probably both leaving after this match
to WWE.
Yeah. Well, at some point, it seemed like AJ might go back to Impact for a second, but then he wound up signing with WWE.
Didn't they ruin that before the Mania? Like someone seen him coming in the building.
It was a Royal Rumble.
Rumble.
People knew AJ was coming in at that point.
Yeah.
And Gallows and Anderson are leaving too because they're headed to WWE.
So it was a big blow for New Japan.
Yeah. And the Bullet Club was hot at this point, and this is at the point where it's starting to get introduced. Kenny's the leader now, and then Hot Topic is getting a bunch of New Japan stuff. The other big thing that happened between like 2014 and 2016 is they got their show on Access TV. So they finally had American television, and initially their announcers were Mauro Ranallo and Josh Barnett. And then,
did you miss Mauro at all?
Not at all.
Oh, man.
Bit. Hey, he's doing well. Good for him. He has a show on like CBS where it's like some kind of like Celebrity Survivor thing. Good for him. He has a great career going, and I don't have to watch him. Everybody wins.
He's normally I normally don't like when people put on the voice when they knew they're announcing.
Yeah, that's why I don't like him.
I don't like it, but him I can tolerate. But sometimes the references are too much.
Yeah.
Wrestling puns and commentary every 30 seconds is too much for me. Too much.
Rap references and comic book references.
He's getting bad and bougie out there.
I think the time I was like, I'm done with him was when he said, like a fountain pen, Johnny Gargano refuses to be written off. Like, no, go away. And he did, so that's fine. Like, I like he has a great story. I love that he's been so open about like bipolar disorder.
Yeah, he struggles with.
I just don't like him as a wrestling announcer. He's not my cup of tea.
It's just weird to hear a guy with like the old school timey thing, and then he's like, and then TI reference, like it's just really weird. Yeah.
So then this is also when this is like the peak of the Bullet Club's popularity, but for me, it's also when Bullet Club starts to lose its shine a little bit, because now Kenny's in charge, and shortly after that, Kenny and the Young Bucks create like a subgroup within the Bullet Club, the Elite. And they said it was out of a frustration that there's like a DX NWO parody act. It was really they wanted to sell merchandise and not have New Japan cut in on it.
Yeah.
Can't blame them.
Marketing, baby.
Can't blame them. Because at this point, the Bullet Club shirt not only is it in Hot Topic, it is the best-selling shirt at Hot Topic.
And the Young Bucks one is out. The Kenny one is out.
So now they can say, New Japan, our version of the shirt. Now it's not a group shirt. There is a variant that's Kenny's. There's a variant.
Well, that's a Kenny shirt. You can buy the Bullet Club shirt, but you can also buy the Kenny shirt.
Yeah. What I'm saying is now if you want the Bullet Club Kenny, if you want the Bullet Club.
No, they're even aside from that.
Yeah.
There's like the Bullet Club Kenny shirt, but there's also Kenny's own shirt.
Yeah. But I mean, then they started mashing them where it said Bullet Club.
No, they were doing all three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
so
I'm saying
you can get the Young Bucks with the bandana, but you can also get the Young Bucks shirt that's not New Japan.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha. But yeah, so they're marketing. They're getting smart.
Yeah. And then they're also starting to sell New Japan shirts and like the logo, the Lion's Head, LIJ shirts are starting to pop up in Hot Topic. This is when they start getting really good.
And that's the other thing. Like Bullet Club was kind of the cool group, and then LIJ started to be a little cooler.
Yeah.
Naito was like kind of the man.
Is Naito is he at the point now where he like wants to be the champion, but he hates being the champion, or is that
he had the Intercontinental belt and he's destroying it?
Yeah,
this is probably right around this. Yeah.
Okay.
Because at this point, Okada, that Wrestle Kingdom was where Okada finally. This was a years-long build where Okada and Tanahashi had 3 big singles matches outside of the G1. Okada won 3, Tanahashi won 3. Okada never beat Tanahashi at the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, so
but
the big thing
now,
is, can he do it? Can he beat him?
Tanahashi's a champion. Okada won the G1, so you have it. It's 3-3. This is Game 7 at the Tokyo Dome, where Okada's never beaten him. Tanahashi is the man. He is the ace.
He's Japanese John Cena.
He is Japanese Michael Jordan.
Okay.
And
I'm just saying wrestling terms.
Not Bret Hart like Excalibur claimed. No one says that.
Yeah, he is the man. But Okada is the guy that's been nipping in his heels, the young guy who's coming to take his throne. And the whole build up to that match is tonight the night that New Japan becomes Kazuchika Okada's company. And lo and behold, it was.
Yeah, torch was passed.
Yeah, the torch was passed. And Tanahashi was still a big guy. He still won the title since then. But Okada became the man.
Now, why is Naito's whole thing where he doesn't like being a champion?
Because earlier when they had youth fans could vote on what the main event would be, the Intercontinental title or the heavyweight title, they voted for the Intercontinental title.
Which Tanahashi had.
Yeah, because they want to see him in the main event rather than Naito, who was his first time world champion.
Yeah.
And he wrestled
Okada.
Yeah.
So it was like almost like an FU to the fans.
It was like they wanted Tanahashi and Nakamura for the Intercontinental title over.
So he was almost like CM Punk in it over there, where he's like, the fans are only want me to be second place, so FU.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't care.
Yeah, so that's why he's like, oh, now win this title, I don't care about that. So he was the one ROH pay-per-view.
I just know him as the eye guy.
Yeah, and he comes out the belt, he's dragging it, he's throwing at the ring step and he's breaking it. He's like physically breaking it. Tanahashi eventually wins it and fixes it.
Think of Naito as CM Punk meets Orange Cassidy.
Okay.
With a little bit
he
more
just
of an edge.
down
he just doesn't
care.
What
it makes a Stone Cold because he just doesn't give a shit about his
like,
he would Stone Cold and Orange Cassidy.
Like he would knock him out of the ring and he'd run like he's gonna do a dive and he just does a roll. And
he better be a Forbidden Door. I want to see him.
He should be. He pauses and just like does this on the ground.
Yeah, that was the one where they said Okada's not gonna be there.
I seen one of his matches. He wrestled Jericho.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So where I found the Bullet Club is when Kenny was a member.
Okay.
There was a clip where everyone's like gushing over Kenny Omega, where it looked like an indie show though, where it wasn't like a New Japan show.
Probably Carrick and Hall.
And Kenny is in a chair, but he like, I don't know how he did it. Like he picks the chair up so he still looks like he's sitting in it, and he like scoots across the screen.
I don't know.
It was like a funny.
Yeah,
he did stuff with Janela too early in AEW.
It was like a weird scene where like they were fighting outside the ring, and Kenny just has this like really funny, like he was a heel but he was funny, and he like skirts across and he just sits there.
He was a heel, but he was like psychotic.
Yeah,
like
let me find that gif.
The Cleaner had a lot of comedy. Like he would try to give people like brush burns with his forearm hair.
And he would get the broom and stuff.
Yes,
but
the broom,
It's Carrick and Hall shows, so kind of like the ECW Arena of Japan.
Right.
And sometimes they do a little more fun stuff there.
That's where who went to Japan? Evander?
Evander James probably was.
Is that where he wrestled the hall?
Probably.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of halls there, but Carrick and Hall's like the big one. So 2016 is also a lot of new people are joining the Bullet Club. Adam Cole, Adam Page, mainly through ROH, but they would come to Japan for a while. Cody was in there. Bone Soldier, who was Captain New Japan turned heel. Tonga Loa joins in March to form Guerrillas of Destiny with his tag team partner Tama Tonga. And then their brother Hikuleo again will be at Legends of Hamburg, also joins in. But in 2017, they have another bad Wrestle Kingdom at Wrestle Kingdom 11. The Bucks lose a junior tag titles to Roppongi Vice. Guerrillas of Destiny lose to Ishii and Yano. And Omega, who had right before that won the G1, the first non-Japanese wrestler to win the G1, only the third one to ever even make the finals. He fails to dethrone Kazuchika Okada in a match that kind of broke the internet because Dave Meltzer gave it 6 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when New Japan is just it's so white hot. It is so good. 2017, then 2018 is like that is prime. Every show is great.
When Kenny won that G1,
all the big shows.
He showed big disrespect to the crowd. I remember
he broke the cup.
He broke the cup and he dropped the flag too.
Yeah,
the flag that he was supposed to wave, he dropped it and then start waving the
Bullet Club flag. Yeah, he drops the G1 flag and waves the Bullet Club flag. And
he's wearing the aviator shades and stuff at this time, right?
Well, at this point, he's kind of past that. What you're looking at, that's the Cleaner. That's when he's like a junior.
Okay.
Now he's kind of just what he's now.
Okay. Yeah. At this point, his whole thing is, I'm the leader of the Bullet Club. I have the best matches. He's still like he doesn't.
So they're
care.
playing into the Meltzer stuff too.
Yeah, he's disrespectful. Yeah, the best matches comes after that 6-star thing because it becomes the best bout machine.
Yeah.
And this is some of the best episodes. If anybody watches Being the Elite, these were some of the best episodes they had, I thought.
And Being the Elite is now just kind of starting with the Kenny era, right?
No, it always was going, but now it's like white hot.
Yeah, it started with like
really
Talking
big.
Shop and the Good Brothers and people like that.
Honestly, I didn't know anything about any of this. I had stopped watching wrestling after a while with WWE because it was just so repetitive. And then I heard, oh, there's going to be this teleconference for a new wrestling company. So it was AEW. And then I saw these guys and I'm like, oh, I'll research them. And then I saw Being the Elite.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then that's how I got into it. And then I'm like, okay, well, let me search and see if I can find these certain matches.
Interesting. Yeah. I knew when Kenny was the leader of the Bullet Club is when I started learning around the time AJ got there, because everyone's like, oh, if you like AJ and Finn Balor, because Finn's killing it on NXT, AJ immediately jumps to WWE, and everyone's like, oh, these two Austin Bullet Club members are there, and then like the Bullet Club was kind of, and I see everyone wear the shirts, and then at this time, the Being the Elite was starting to get popular. The shirts look cool, and they're starting to cross over with ROH a little bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And yeah, Kenny's wrestling ROH a lot. The Bucks are wrestling ROH because New Japan would do tours. You'd be wrestling quite frequently for a week or two, and then you would be off for a little.
And then you would have, this is your first Bullet Club members that don't maybe show up in New Japan so much, which would be Hangman and Marty Scurll.
Yeah. And Adam Cole.
Cole.
Yeah, but then they eventually did come over, but like they were mainly
the Adam
Bullet
Cole
Club
jumping scene
USA.
happened in Japan, right? When he was jumped out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
and he was jumped out by Skrull. Skrull's introduction was Adam Cole's leaving.
No, he was already in.
They were-
His introduction was an ROH pay-per-view.
Who got
He
kicked
comes out
out?
with the opens the umbrella and it's Bullet Club.
Well, who was the guy that like he was under the mask the whole time, and he came out and jumped the guy, and then he took the mask off? I think that's how Marty Scurll was introduced. But somebody was being
Might have been how Marty Scurll was introduced. No, he was introduced. Yeah, he had the mat. Then he came out and opened the umbrella.
He always had the mask with the long nose. And
yeah.
Yeah,
But I thought
like
his joining was someone's exit.
No.
Oh.
AJ was the one that.
yeah.
When Devitt X and AJ came in.
Yeah.
Devitt came in with a long hood that you couldn't see his face.
So speaking of Ring of Honor, Adam Cole is the ROH champion as a member of Bullet Club. Frankie Kazarian joins, but he joins as kind of a double agent. He's just there to help Christopher Daniels take the ROH title from Adam Cole, and he leaves the Bullet Club. And Daniels doesn't have it for too long before he loses it back to the Bullet Club because Cody wins the ROH title.
Yeah.
And Cody would also unsuccessfully challenge Okada. And this is where you start to get a little bit of friction because Cody is starting to make waves like maybe he should be the leader of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And this is when he's doing the whole promo where he's sitting with the cigar in the chair.
Bullet Club is
It's
fine.
Yeah.
Yes. This is the start of the civil war in between Bullet Club.
And this is where you kind of have that tension where Cody is Bullet Club, and then the Elite title is starting to get popular because it's the Bucks and Kenny are the Elite.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, maybe Cody is the leader now.
Yeah, he's kind of making waves like maybe I
And
should
then he
take
wins
it
the
over.
US, New Japan US title.
Yes.
Not yet.
Not yet, because Kenny wins it first.
Actually, I actually own. I got that was a random shirt I got. Like when you do the random shirts by Pro Wrestling Tees, I got a Cody, New Japan American US title where it looks like Zelda, where it's like you.
Oh, okay, that one's cool. Yeah.
So you do have another strong G1 for Kenny that year. He loses to Naito in the finals. And after he defeats Beretta at Power Struggle, Kenny is challenged by video by Chris Jericho. First time in New Japan in decades. Chris Jericho goes on the video and challenges Kenny
and he
for
comes
Wrestle
back
Kingdom.
as more of a character. What was it? The Painmaker, right?
Well, that was later. This is the Alpha Club.
This is the Alpha Club.
Alpha
Yeah.
Club. Yeah.
Alpha versus Omega.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, he still has his Jericho WWE stuff on.
Yeah.
Because the Bucks side with him, right? The Bucks
yet.
side with Jericho. Not yet.
No. So that December, Omega is attacked by Jericho. Jericho attacks Omega, attacks a young boy. I think it might have been
somebody was dressed like Bushi.
Shota Umino.
No, it was for Naito. Never mind.
Might have been Shota Umino because that's
yeah.
it might have been what was talking about on Dynamite, and he attacks Don Callis because Don Callis is there with Kenny.
Yeah, Don Castle.
Now, before Kenny was Bullet Club, that's when he was with the Golden Lovers.
That was DDT.
DDT.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They weren't the Golden Lovers New Japan.
Sorry, I'm jumping around a lot. I'm just trying to get my points of reference here. This is how I learn as well.
The Golden Lovers do come back into this a little
Yeah.
bit, though.
And they're the most over tag team in the world at some one point.
So Wrestle Kingdom.
I think it's happening in AEW. I really do. I think when Kenny comes back as a babyface, I think he has to.
Oh, and Coda gets his stuff straightened out.
Yeah. Wrestle Kingdom 2018. This is probably the best business New Japan did. I think they said they had like 100,000 subscribers.
2018 is a fantastic year for New Japan.
2018, because you have two big matches here. You have, and they kind of bill it as a double main event. You have Omega against Jericho, and that's almost your main event for the American audience. and then you have Okada and Naito, which is your main event for the Japanese audience.
I'm not gonna lie. I watched the Kenny Omega Jericho, and I turned the pay-per-view off.
And you missed a great match.
I did. I probably fucked up, but at this time too, this is where now your American audience is becoming. It's cool to be a New Japan fan because you're like.
I mean, it already was, especially if you're a deep wrestling fan.
Yeah, but I mean, now it's like getting a little more mainstream
hardcore.
Because now the ROH crossover, Cody's now there.
New Japan would always. They always had a working deal. Well, not always, but for a long time.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's just blowing up at this point. It's almost like you're not a real wrestling fan if you're not watching New Japan and ROH at this point.
And also at this point, that summer, we kind of missed it. That summer is when they do introduce the U.S. title, and Kenny wins the first U.S. title tournament. It was they did 2 shows in L.A. Or somewhere in California. The first night was Okada against Cody, where Okada beats Cody for the IWGP title. The second night is the U.S. title tournament where Kenny beats Ishii in the finals.
I mean, so when fighting the ropes, he's going suplex.
It's non-title, but when Kenny wrestled Jericho, he was the U.S. champion. But
which was Ishii?
Match.
The Stone Pitbull, the small guy. He was on
the one I always say when I see Wrestle Miro.
I know. I don't really know.
He was on Dynamite once. He was on Rampage. He wrestled on Rampage. He wrestled on Cassidy. Or they tagged up or something.
So the third biggest match on that show with
Jericho. Okay.
The third biggest match on that show with Jericho and Kenny and Naito and Okada was Tanahashi was attacked by a newcomer, which was Switchblade Jay White. He had just come back from excursion. He was in Ring of Honor, and he comes back as Switchblade.
It's a cool figure. Him in the Never title.
Yeah.
Now, what is the Never title?
It's just an open weight title.
It's like it was supposed to be like a meaningless another company that they were trying to spin off, and it didn't really work out, and then just became a New Japan title.
Okay.
So at this point, Kenny loses right after he beats Jericho at Wrestle Kingdom. He loses the IWGP title, US title to Jay White the next month, and he reforms the Golden Lovers. And it's kind of the Civil War is kind of really hot here because it's Kenny, Ibushi, and of all people, Chase Owens.
Yeah, because Ibushi comes to save Kenny, and like, oh my god,
he comes to save Kenny because there was one point while Kenny was in the Bullet Club, they wanted Kenny to do something to Kota. They wanted him to hit him with a chair, and he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
He just kept saying no.
In the chat, Irish hanging out. It says, "Hey guys, your pal Gavin, great ladder match champ."
Thank you.
There it is.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out again. Hope you guys are learning some stuff here. I know I am. Like I said, this is where I love when we dive into the topics and stuff like this, or the old shows like NWA, because I never watched it, and I kind of like I'm sitting there browsing on like Peacock and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I want to watch the show. I'm like, I kind of don't want to watch it because I hope we talk about it someday. So I'm enjoying this.
So yeah, the Golden Lovers.
Sorry if I'm asking a lot of questions.
For some reason, it's the Golden Lovers and Chase Owens, and they beat Cody, Hangman, and Marty.
Why does Chase Owens get the hate?
He's just not a guy that.
He just imagine if it was
the whole group is like charisma 1,000.
Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and one of the headbangers.
Pretty much.
Really that low?
Yeah.
And
you're like, why is he there?
I like the headbang.
Nothing against but like,
it just doesn't fit.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit.
Imagine when X-Pac joined DX, and instead of it being X-Pac that joins DX, it's like Al Snow.
Yeah.
And I mean, even X-Pac, because I like X-Pac, but I was like,
no, he had a great, his introduction was great.
Yeah, that was on the cage match.
Yeah.
So then at Strong Style Evolved in March, which I believe may have been in the United States, I don't think it was. Oh yeah, okay. The Golden Lovers beat the Young Bucks.
Yeah, that's the California, the Pyramid Place.
Yes.
That was a great match. So I think they got bench of the year.
So they're still. Is he still Bullet Club and he's fighting the Bucks?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like, is Kota Bullet Club? And then it's like, is Kenny trying to get Kota in the Bullet Club, or is Kota trying to get Kenny out of Bullet Club?
Yeah, it was like a dilemma there.
Yeah,
the best friend dilemma there.
Has it ever been resolved?
We'll get there.
Okay, sorry.
We're telling the story in chronological order.
Yeah.
So that
excited.
That year, Dominion. Again, Dominion's like their SummerSlam. So that year at Dominion, we totally missed it. Okada and Omega had a rematch and it was a draw.
Yeah.
So
I hate that.
We missed some steps. Yeah,
that's the hour.
That's the 1 hour draw.
Oh, fantastic.
My favorite match of their three.
It was excellent though.
Yeah.
You're watching it like, oh my God.
An hour for no finish.
Yeah.
But
there was a finish. It was a draw. It was a tie.
Fucking smashed my head against the wall.
No,
you know what this reminds me of?
Third match.
When you guys do stuff like this, you ever see the movie Dragonheart, where it's like,
no, I haven't.
Yeah.
So the Dragonheart is they're like digging in New York City and legit unearth a dragon, and it pretty much takes modern time and puts us back in the Stone Age. Like it puts us back to like Renaissance time. So in the movie, there's this one scene where they're like hiding out in this castle because dragons are now taking over the sky, and there's dragon hunters. So it's like
Rain of Fire.
Actually, is that the movie? Is it? It might be Rain of Fire.
Yeah.
I don't
think
know.
it's Rain of Fire.
You're right. You're right. It's Rain of Fire.
Dragonheart was with Sean Connery.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it's Rain of Fire. You're right. Rain of Fire. And then like the people are telling the story of Star Wars to a bunch of kids, and he's like, and Luke, I am your father. So like this is like 15 years old, and you're telling me, and I'm like invested in the story without even watching the product because of this episode.
Yeah, we totally bad storytelling on my part. Totally missed it a year before this. They have right before Kenny wins the U.S. title.
You knew your audience. I wouldn't have liked the draw.
He got a yeah, exactly. It was the best match of the three in my opinion. I know most people like the last one the best. I like the draw.
So good.
It was the Empire Strikes Back of the trilogy.
All the
had the bad ending.
Very good.
Yeah, they were all excellent. So finally, this year at Dominion, one more time because Kenny is no longer the U.S. champ. It's going to be Okada and Omega, and this is why the story is being told over 3 matches. The first match Okada wins. The second match is a draw. So now we're going to do 2 out of 3 falls, no time limit.
Kenny never hit the one-winged angel.
Yeah,
and that was the thing. If he hits that, it's possibly over, and it wins.
No one ever
protecting your
Nobody
finish.
ever kicked out of
Instead of doing it 400 fucking times in a match.
Do it once.
I hate that, and I'm also an Adam Cole fan who does finishing food 100 fucking times in the match.
So they have their third match, and this time Kenny wins, and he's the IWGP champion
via one-winged angel.
Yes. On the same show, the Young Bucks win the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Title.
Yeah, now they're moving up.
This is the first time winning that?
Yep.
They were always the junior champions. Now they're the main tag champions.
Because there's no inner turmoil of a member of their group owning it. Because Doc and Carl are no longer.
Yeah, well, they've been going for like a year at this point.
But I'm saying is like they never probably storyline wanted to go for it.
I think they were like, we're really popular. We shouldn't be in the junior.
Yeah, but at times there was Girls Destiny and the.
Oh yeah, they did have.
So they had 2 tag teams.
Yeah.
Well, here's why. Here's why they won it. So the waters are being very muddied though, and it's getting very NWO Wolfpack and
too
NWO
many people are joining.
Yeah.
Is this the time where they're splitting it up and doing the Golden Elite, right?
Yeah, this is the Golden Elite. That's Omega, the Bucks, and Ibushi. They're the Golden Elite, and they're very clear that Omega's saying, "I'm still in the Bullet Club. The Young Bucks are in the Bullet Club. Ibushi is not in the Bullet Club, but we are all the Golden Elite, and I am still the leader of the Bullet Club." And Cody's like, "No, I think I should be the leader of the Bullet Club."
Yeah, and then there's one point that Tonga gets pissed off.
And that's where we're going.
Yeah, that's an LA show.
So the first defense for Kenny Omega as the IWGP champion is in LA against Cody, and he beats Cody. And after the match, Omega and the Bucks are celebrating. Cody walks out defeated, and they're celebrating, and they are attacked by Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and King Haku.
Haku himself comes out.
Yes.
No, thank you. don't want that.
You don't want that.
I don't want that kind of smoke.
I forget what they had. Their
the firing squad.
Yeah, firing squad. Yeah, the shirt was kind of cool.
Yeah, so they're the firing squad, and they beat up that. And Cody even comes back because Kenny's earned his respect now. Cody comes back to try to save him, and he gets beaten up too.
And they even turned on Chase Owens and Takahashi.
Yeah. They turned on Chase Owens.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
But then they let him back in.
Yeah. Like, sorry, man.
So now we go full black.
They knew who their guy was.
Yeah.
Now we go full black and white in Wolfpack because you have Bullet Club Elite, which is Kenny, the Bucks, Cody,
the good one,
the good ones, and then you have Bullet Club OG, which is all the Tongans and Chase Owens,
Fale, and Takahashi, and Oh, Takahashi's a pimp now too.
Yeah, Tokyo Pimp.
Yeah, when he turned bad, he became a pimp. He comes out with Peter, the bunny girl, with the assets.
Now, how come Fale never is respected as like an OG? Like
he is. He was the underboss.
He is.
He's just not a very good wrestler.
Yeah,
compared to the other
probably
people.
Why.
Yeah,
I'm saying like even like as a leader, he was never actually.
He was always the underboss. That was always his.
Yeah, I think
he was always like the sergeant in order.
They never made him the leader because he's not very good.
Right.
Okay.
So
the charisma's not there.
And the
ring work
wrestling isn't there.
Okay.
Which in Japan,
I will say that God for a while, like
they're pretty good. Yeah.
Even like when everyone went to WWE and AEW, they were kind of like, when you guys all left, we've been holding down this fort. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I never was a fan of them, but they're good. They would curse a lot. That was their gimmick during matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're scary looking dudes. I mean, they're Haku kids, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So now at this point, they're getting back to old school Bullet Club. We're going to cheat. We're going to be ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
They got DQ'd a lot in the G1 right after that. Even though Tama Tonga's whole thing is I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
But he's cheating and being ruthless and vicious. And so the Guerrillas of Destiny do win the tag titles from the Bucks. So that's why they kind of set it up where they are going to do the heavyweight titles. Fale and Ishimori join OG. Ishimori is a second Bone Soldier. He's still in the Bullet Club. And then a few more people turn on Chaos to join the Bullet Club. Geto and Jado and Jay White. Jay White joined Chaos, and now he's Bullet Club. Robbie Eagles from Australia joins the Bullet Club. And at Wrestle Kingdom 2019, because the G1 that year was won by Tanahashi. And the main event for the Tokyo Dome in 2019 is Tanahashi and Kenny Omega. And Tanahashi gets the win.
Because someone is going to make their own company.
Yes. 2 days after this, Kenny Omega releases a statement that he has resigned from New Japan Pro Wrestling. WWE made a hell of a run at him.
Yeah, that year, remember, Kenny's going to be in the Royal Rumble.
They threw a lot of money at Kenny Omega, and he said no. So at that point, just a little bit later in January, it's when they had the big press conference in Jacksonville. The Kenny, the Bucks, Cody.
Well, is this the one where they all? No, not yet. That's coming up. Where they all go out on their back.
Keep in mind too, Kenny
they went out on their back, but this was them going out. And Jay White did the whole thing where he jumped Kenny out of it.
He jumped Kenny. Keep in mind too that Kenny was part of WWE for a little bit.
He was in Deep South Wrestling.
Yeah, or Deep South.
Is that the pay-per-view where
he was screwed over? So he definitely didn't want to go back.
On pay-per-view, on the being the Elite, they're like, "That's all right. We lost. You're gonna go out and you're gonna win." And then they come back.
Well, they had
this. You lost too.
I don't watch.
They all had countdowns on their phone, and they didn't know what it was.
Yes.
Still.
Yeah.
And then at the end after this, and then it happens, they all, what does my phone say? It's like AEW. And then Hangman's like, mine says something different. And it's the first
Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
He was, well, at the time, Hangman was still under a contract obligation somewhere else. Like
Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
He couldn't come yet.
Yeah. And then they were saying Hangman might go to WWE.
Well, this actually was the moment where everyone's like, Hangman's going to be the next big thing because he was the one late to the party. And I think that helped his push. Like everyone's like, dude, that's a guy. And he had a really good showing at Double or Nothing, where everyone's like, this could be the future of wrestling.
Well, he wrestled somebody that doesn't exist anymore on All Out.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what where he gets taken
out.
Like,
the penis. Well, the penis
druids.
Yeah.
But he has a moment where everyone's like, this could be the future. Like Hangman can be the future. Like, and that's where really he got his push.
He wasn't the future.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. They always say your second title reign is better.
He's still very entertaining.
Yeah.
And he has a huge following. Like Hangman, I think is top 5 in best popularity in AEW. I think people are still very much into Hangman.
I don't know about top 5.
Top 10.
Top 10. Top 5 would be Punk, Moxley, Danielson.
I was shocked
Orange
how
Cassidy,
much the crowd was still chanting for Hangman.
Oh yeah, they like him. Yeah, nothing against him. I think he's good.
Hey,
his title run was just a little bland. That's all.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, his good matches. Yeah, I think Hangman and Jungle Express will go down as probably weaker title runs in the company, but the match because
they will.
But here's the thing: storyline wise, their stories with their titles were very, very, very weak. But the matches that they put on while as champions were good fucking matches. Every Jungle Express, like the multi-man matches, were fucking very entertaining.
Were good matches, but they weren't Kenny Omega.
They weren't Bucks.
They weren't.
No, they weren't. They weren't because they had a hard time pushing. They weren't as
good as the tag. The only tag champions before them that you could say their matches were better than were SCU.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't as good as the Bucks. They weren't as good as Kenny and Hangman. They weren't as good as the Lucha Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Also, lack of charisma and storytelling to push the match. But when
also, lack of charisma.
Lack of charisma
for the Jurassic Express.
Yeah, absolutely. But when they get in the ring, they know what they're doing.
One of them does.
Yeah, one of them.
I think the Luchasaurus has gotten better. That's just me. Anyway,
better, better. So with this, Bullet Club Elite just kind of goes away, and Bullet Club OG is now just the Bullet Club.
And they get the silver one.
Oh yeah, the one that looks like a hockey logo.
Yeah,
that one was.
That didn't last very long.
No,
I have to look at that one.
I feel like I hate it.
They put it out on the internet. Was like
it looks like a minor league hockey team.
And this was so popular that
Jay White is now your leader, and shortly after this, he wins the IWGP title from Tanahashi. Kenny would have been the 7th guy to win the title. Jay White would be the 8th.
It was supposed to be, or Kenny keeps the title and then wrestles Okada for a 4th time at Madison Square Garden, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, the best laid plans. Mm-hmm. The best laid plans. So yeah, Jay White wins the title back, but it is leading up to Madison Square Garden.
That one, right?
No.
Yeah. Well, that one. Yeah, that's
the logo.
One.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a different one that may have come a little bit later. That was really bad.
This one?
No.
That was pretty bad too.
This one that looked very much like a bad minor league hockey logo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that would have been cool for minor league hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
So then we have some new additions because Jay White loses to Okada in March. We do have some new additions in 2019. Kenta, because he's leaving WWE. El Phantasmo comes in. Kent is probably the most successful Bullet Club guy after Jay White loses the title.
Yeah.
He won the Intercontinental title that year, but he lost it to Jay White because all roads now are leading to the unification of the IWGP and Intercontinental titles. So it comes down to 4 people. The first, because this is when 2020, we're going to 2020 now, and that's when Wrestle Kingdom has 2 nights. So night 1, it's going to be Okada and Kota Ibushi for the IWGP title, and it's going to be Naito and Jay White for the Intercontinental title. And Naito beats Jay White. Okada beats Ibushi. The next night, it's the 2 champions, so that'll be Okada and Naito to unify the titles, and Naito wins. Naito's the big winner that unifies the title,
and that's what made it the world heavyweight. Well, not yet.
But
that's what
that was Kota, and
at this time, Jay White is killing it as a leader. Like he's putting good matches on, but the problem is the rest of the club.
He's having good matches.
But it doesn't mean anything anymore. The Bullet Club is not special.
They lost a lot of steam
because everyone wants the Bullet Club in America. Because it's easier to access, and AEW is hot, and now you have members of the Bullet Club on Raw and SmackDown with the club.
And essentially, Jay at that time was very much another Kenny Omega character,
but not as popular.
Not as popular, right?
And he doesn't have this. I mean, regardless of what you say, all the leaders are very popular, but I do give a lot of credit to the Bucks because they were just really good marketing people.
And at this point, it's not just that; it's that the Cool Stable's LIJ. Well before this, the Cool Stable.
Yeah.
It's like, the Kenny's good, but Naito's the man now.
Yeah.
And Jay White was probably like, people like, Jay White's fine, but I like Okada's better and Naito's better, Kota's better. People still probably want Tanahashi. So for a lot of people's eyes, Jay White's probably like 5th.
Yeah. But he's working his ass off. He's trying his best to keep it afloat.
He's working his ass off, and he's very good.
Yeah, he's a very good wrestler.
This isn't a slight against Jay White. Jay White is incredibly talented.
Yeah, but I'm just saying right now, Bullet Club as a stable is not as hot.
And Jay White is still finding himself too.
Yeah, in 2020, New Japan is starting to lose a little steam.
Yeah, New Japan as a whole is starting to run out of gas because AEW's up and running now, and a lot
we
of
have COVID then too, and
that's what really
starts killing
stuff. And that really hurts the Bullet Club because there's so many international guys, so you kind of get it split. Jay White can't get in Japan. Their leader's gone. So they have Evil turn his back on LIJ and join the Bullet Club. He's their new leader.
And he won a title for a little bit there.
He beat Naito for the titles. But the problem with Evil is he's not great.
Yeah.
And this is Io Shirai's husband.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or fiance.
Yeah, he had real colorful hair. And he always had like colorful outfits. And then when he turns Bullet Club, first he had this terrible outfit with like some kilt thing. And he's black and white now. And he's black and white hair.
I give him the patch just because he's with Io. I love Io Shirai.
Well, yeah.
Io Shirai's great.
She's a better wrestler.
She's better than most humans on the planet.
Io Shirai is wonderful. But and they're losing a lot of steam. Evil just doesn't have this. He's a good wrestler, but he's not at that level. He should never beat
Naito for the belt.
He's not at New Japan main event standings.
No.
Yeah.
So Naito does win the title back pretty quickly in August.
At the baseball stadium.
Yeah, so they do a thing every year where the guy, whoever wins the G1 gets like a briefcase and they get a guaranteed title shot at Wrestle Kingdom, and they'll usually put it on the line once before the show. And this year it's the first time ever that Kota Ibushi wins the G1, but he's got to defend that title shot against Jay White, and Jay White beats him.
Yeah.
So it's the first time somebody's actually won the title shot. And Naito's your champion.
Kota's back and forth. I don't know if I'm going to sign or not. So they're like,
But also, it's a 2-night Wrestle Kingdom again. Actually, it's a 3-night Wrestle Kingdom because they do the third night, which is like a New Japan versus Noah show.
Is this the show also where Liger retires?
That was the year before.
Yeah.
That was 2020.
The year before.
That was the same year that
I did watch Liger's retirement match.
No, okay.
That was the same year that
his multi-man match.
Yeah, that was the second night.
That was the same night that they did the whole thing where it was like Jay White and Naito the first night, and then Okada and Ibushi. It was that one where they unified the titles the first time.
Jericho wasn't on that show, was he?
He wrestled Tanahashi on that show.
He has to say he was on that show.
Or was that?
Yeah, no.
He was on one of the 3 nights.
The Wrestle Game, yeah. Because he wrestled Naito not at
I believe he was on the night.
He wrestled Evil and he wrestled
Naito. He wrestled Naito twice, right? Because he won the title and lost it to him.
Yeah,
that's where he did the pile driver on the ramp, right?
Yeah.
I don't have the exact date.
Yeah,
the first time.
Because I remember I watched the Juice and Liger match because the reason I got the pay-per-view was I wanted to see Jericho and Naito. So I think it was night 2. Yeah.
Might have been,
yeah.
And that Jericho Tanahashi match is quite good. It's a very old school match. That was Wrestle Kingdom 14, which would have been 2020, yes.
And then Jericho jumps a guy later on in the show.
No, Tanahashi was his last match with New Japan.
But you're
thinking of the Naito match, I think.
That's when he comes out dressed like Bushi when he has the mask on. He takes off
whatever his last match was. He later on in the show, he's not involved in the match, but he comes out and attacks somebody, which then leads to what we're getting at Forbidden Door. He goes after like a young boy, like he goes after.
Shota Umino. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, he just beat. Shota was a young boy, and his dad is one of the Earl Hebners of New Japan.
Yeah,
and he beat him up in front of his dad.
Yeah,
I thought that was during the match with Kenny.
Yeah, but that was a while ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he did that later on.
That was his first match.
My bad.
So yeah, 2021 is an off year. The pandemic is still hurting.
Yeah, and New Japan goes dormant for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, so
nothing.
So that back to that Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, Jay White wins the title shot, but it's a 2-9 thing again. So Naito's a champion. Naito's a fighting champion. He's not doing the thing where he's throwing the belt around anymore.
No, I respect it now.
So night 1, he's like, I'm going to give Kota Ibushi a title shot. So night 1, it's Naito and Ibushi wins the title because he signed.
Yeah.
And then night 2, Ibushi beats Jay White to keep the title. So
and then they merge the titles together.
That was later. That was like Ibushi and Will Ospreay. Yeah. They get the ugly title they have now.
Yeah.
But then Gallows and Anderson are back, and 2021 is where Kenta wins the U.S. title again.
Yeah, Kenta. I remember that's when Bullet Club isn't.
Kenta shows up on Dynamite.
Isn't striking hot, but that's when Kenta leaves NXT and he's like,
he's already gone.
He was there in 2020.
Yeah, but I'm saying Kenta. I remember Kenta's the first name that pops in with Jay White that people are like, oh, maybe.
What was Kenta's NXT name?
Hideo Itami.
Hideo Itami. And then he got hurt.
He was hurt a couple times.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember him joining the Bullet Club and people like a little bit of interest starts sparking there again because they were fans of him.
And then
a little, but not much.
Yeah. Kenta had lost a lot of steam throughout his run.
It bumped the meter. The meter did a quick like whoop.
And then but it never got close again. Even now, it's not back anywhere near where it was.
I think it's climbing a little bit.
That's just because you really like Ace Austin.
No,
they're trying. But it's not really.
This Forbidden Door thing's going to help them.
I think they're trying to give it a push
again. The stuff in Impact helped them too.
Jay White's
the stuff in Impact.
Nobody pays attention.
There was no crossover. All the people that joined in NWO Bullet Club Impact didn't even show up in Japan. So for them, it didn't even happen.
I don't know. I disagree. I think it moved the needle a little bit.
No, if you were watching New Japan, you don't even know those people because they never showed up.
If you asked 100 people in Japan about Chris Bay, they would say, "Who's Chris Bay?"
Yeah.
Well, I don't live in Japan.
I know,
but I live in America.
Yeah, it's a big deal if you're an Impact fan.
Yeah. I think in America, it's starting to say, "Oh, cool, we have another version of the Bullet Club that can maybe cross over."
So
and we have a little.
Tony's trying to say is it's pumping back up in America again.
It's not.
No, it's kind of been dead for like during the whole when Evil Tyrant kind of killed it.
I agree. I'm saying when we get to where we are now, I think the Impact deal and Jay White showing up in Impact and back in AEW is starting to move.
Impact is such a non-factor.
Yeah, no.
Nothing in Impact really matters on the grand scale.
Jay White showing up in Impact
did nothing for.
I'm sorry, I disagree.
What's your favorite Jay White Impact match?
I think I didn't see the match, but I think him showing up just sparked enough attention that when he did show up at AEW, then later on was like, oh fuck, he's now here too.
No,
I think it was oh fuck, he's here.
Yeah. I think it's just the AEW.
If you polled that AEW crowd, I would think 10% or less would know that Jay White ever stepped foot in Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I think the Impact
you're seriously overrating Impact's reach.
Yeah, I think that did nothing for
Impact is seen by Impact is seen by less than 100,000 people a week.
Maybe. I think it helped.
The numbers are there.
Yeah, I think it helped.
I don't think it would have made one. If he never did that, it would have had the same impact as when he showed up on.
Impact is so obscure that their parent company had to buy a TV station to keep them on TV. That is where Impact Wrestling is. I like Impact Wrestling. It's fun. I'm not saying it's
still
bad.
The cockroach you can't kill.
Yeah. I'm amazed it's still around.
Yeah,
but they are a non-factor, and I hate to say that. I wish they would do better.
I love their roster.
They have a great roster. They put out a really good product, but
no one watching.
The fact is, it's just they're not. I might as well yell out the window the Chris Bays and the Bullet Club because they'll reach just as many people as Impact Wrestling.
Yeah. I think small tidbits that go online and people talking and headlines.
You're in a bubble.
Are going to help.
You're in a bubble.
Sure, I'm in a wrestling community bubble, and there are the people who watch the product.
That's a bubble in a bubble. The Impact is a bubble within the wrestling bubble.
Yeah, it might be big around like a few thousand people that are really hardcore into wrestling online, but in the
well, that's kind of where New Japan sat for a very long time too.
Until they got the crossover appeal, and that's when they took off.
Yeah.
Now we have crossover appeal where who knows? Well, I think it's kind of faded.
Impact
with
Wrestling has zero crossover.
This was the problem with Impact. It has the TNA stink, and it will never get rid of it.
They should have completely just rebranded.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, what we're talking about is 2022. Evil won the Never title for a little bit. Lost it quickly though to Tama Tonga, who is now out of the Bullet Club. That was an Impact angle
when he cut his hair and shaved.
Yeah, where they beat up the Guerrillas of Destiny. Guerrillas of Destiny are now out of the Bullet Club and they are their own thing. Gallows and Anderson are back though, And then they did get some new life in the summer of 22. Juice Robinson came back to the Bullet Club, and as we discussed, Ace Austin is in the Bullet Club. So yeah, they.
And who's the guy that showed the Ace Austin card on camera?
Jay White, I believe.
Yeah.
Was that Jay White? No, it wasn't Jay White.
No, it was El Phantasmo.
Oh,
yeah, the guy who puts
he has long hair now.
Yeah, the guy who puts the card up to the.
He used to come out with the light up sunglasses, and they had the skull with the light up sunglasses on.
Yeah, because he was their top like American junior before that.
He was in a tag team with Robbie Eagles, and like one of them was still good, and then they both turned bad. Turned both.
I think there's new life for the club, especially with
New Japan is trying.
Yeah, and the AEW deal will help because like Impact, there's no big push there. There's no. I'm not.
It's just not.
I know I sound like I'm being cruel, but it's and it's nothing against their product. It's nothing against everybody that works hard. They have a great roster. They're booked well.
It's just they don't have enough reach to make a big impact.
It makes me think of an old Mitch Hedberg joke where he was talking about being on XM satellite radio. He's like, he's on XM satellite radio, and he's like, they're like, you can curse on here, and he's like, I can curse in the woods too because no one will hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fun. I think
it's very fun, but Impact is just
like here's the thing. What channel is Impact on?
I only watch on the network.
See?
Because they don't have
what channel is Dynamite on? TNT.
Yeah.
What channel is
TBS?
Raw? USA.
Yeah, I think
that's a big thing.
That hurts. Well, it's on Access TV, right?
Is it?
Yeah, which very few people get.
Yeah.
But Access isn't,
and it's on
not
Access
accessible.
TV. It's on Access TV because Anthem bought Access TV.
And what hurt it was when it was jumping, it was like Destination America, then whatever channel, and then the nights.
And they're like, you can watch it on Twitch,
channel.
but if you don't watch it on Twitch and subscribe on Twitch, you can't go back and watch the. That's where it hurts. Is where the reach.
The last time they were really big was when the Hardys were doing the delete stuff. I don't think they've ever reached that level since, and that wasn't even as big as when Bischoff and Hogan.
Yeah, like
they do make a lot of noise every Slammiversary. They make some good moves in Slammiversary. They get
define big noise, like big noise with 5,000 online fans.
Yeah. Sure, I mean it's bigger than it was.
GCW.
Like I said, I don't. When it's a needle, it's not bang. It's boop. They have blips of.
No, it's
yeah. Like,
I don't know.
Oh, that's happening in Impact, huh?
Yeah, like WWE is here, AEW is here, Impact is here.
I agree with that, but I still think it has its place in wrestling right now.
Oh everything. Yeah,
it totally does. It's not gonna really get you that mass appeal.
Yeah, it's a good place to go and be seen to hopefully move on. That's it's a sad state of what it is, but that's kind of what it is.
If they called, I would have no problem going there.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
But then if AEW calls you, then you're like, all right, see ya.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a good platform for people for if New Japan's testing the waters of how to work. I think it does help that you have Chris Bay and Ace Austin
kind of is still mad at them for how they treated Sonata and Okada.
And I don't think New Japan is on after Impact on Access again.
Yeah, that it just recently came back.
Yeah,
but the only problem is they show like 3 or 4 matches from an event that happened like a month ago.
Yeah,
so it's a little behind.
We're still like how Ring of Honor and New Japan were kind of stuck in that pandemic era where they were showing replays of old stuff.
The New Japan was just nothing.
Yeah, they just went dark.
Yeah, and they came back and the crowd couldn't cheer. And
they weren't allowed to cheer.
Yeah, the crowd couldn't cheer; they could only clap.
Oh, so they didn't want to.
Yeah,
vocalize and spread COVID.
Like, oh boy,
wowzer.
Yeah, so it's a little hard to watch. I mean, the match is still good, but now they're starting to slowly get out of it. And like,
maybe where I stand right now with the club and a lot of things is maybe I'm kind of stuck in that loop where as a giant nerd and pop culture nerd, I overbook things of how awesome it can be, but it just never pans out for us that way.
You're seeing the potential it possibly could be.
I mean, like WandaVision, where we all booked a different ending of the show and then it didn't happen, and then people were like, I hated it because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Like I see the AEW now, I see Japan, AEW and Japan working together, and I see New Japan guys working, going to Impact for a while and making some stuff there, and then the crossover with Kenny. I just see all those avenues.
And the crossover for Impact with Kenny did nothing for Impact.
Their ratings went up for a little bit.
For that first show.
Yeah. But
most people tuned in for Kenny, and then when Kenny was done,
and the bad thing is that they put on a terrible show that day too.
Yeah.
But
did you see what they did? They do have Slammiversary this weekend.
Wow.
They're big.
See, that's
it gets.
I knew it was this weekend.
That was I knew it because you told me.
I had no idea.
And we're all big wrestling fans. One of 5 of us knew Slammiversary was this weekend until you told me. That's Impact's reach.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did see they're doing, which is funny, they're doing a reverse battle royal.
Oh,
which is something they always made fun of because they did it on one of their first Spike shows, and it was like, this is the worst idea ever.
Yeah, I remember.
It is a battle royal that starts outside and you win by getting in the ring.
Which match is that?
It's a reverse battle royal.
But who's like? Is it the women's match? Men's match?
It's they haven't announced who's going to be in it.
Yeah. Okay.
TNA did a few times too, and it's.
I know they're doing a multi-women's match for the title.
It's probably that is Tasha Steelz, Chelsea Green, Deonna Purrazzo, Jordan Grace Meehan.
That should be proven.
Yeah.
The problem with this is they have a lot of multi-person matches. It's
that's
busy.
Not everyone has to be on the show.
Because then you have Ace Austin, Kenny King, Mike Bailey, Trey Miguel, Jack Evans, Alex Zane. That's an Ultimate X.
That's all one match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also have a 10-man tag.
Jesus Christ.
Eddie Edwards, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, PCO, and Vincent against Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Frankie Kazarian, Nick Aldis, and TBA, the Impact Originals. So that's 3 matches. I just talked about 3 matches.
It's like an indie show almost.
Yeah. Like you don't have to put everyone on.
Everyone's got to be on.
That is 3 matches with 21 people, and there's a battle royal.
Oh my God.
Callahan versus Moose.
Yeah, in a Monsters Ball match.
And Alexander versus
Eric Young. That's the title match.
Is Eric Young the champ?
No, Josh Alexander
is
the champion. And then you have the Briscoes and the Good Brothers for the tag titles.
Okay.
You have the Influence, which is Madison Rain and Tennille Dashwood against Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie for the Knockouts tag title.
Oh, that should be good.
I think Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie are going to respark that and get the titles back.
And then you have the Reverse Battle Royal is a pre-show match.
Oh, good.
As is Rich Swann and Brian Myers for the digital media title.
Oh, I forgot that Swan got that because
Hopefully everybody VSK shows up there.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Well, they were doing the No Honor Club for a while.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's kind of done.
Honor No More. No, it's
Honor. Are they still going?
That's a 10-man tag. It's the Impact Originals. It's Shelley, Sabin, Kazarian, Nick Aldis, who was Magnus in TNA before, and TBA. They haven't announced the 5th person. So
what if it's what was his name? Terry, the big jacked British guy.
Terry, not Terry.
No, Terry. Terry something.
Rob Terry.
Rob Terry. Yeah. Not to be confused with Mason Ryan.
What if it's Cheeks?
Cheeks.
What if it's one of the Flying Elvises?
Let's go real early in fact. What if it's the truth? They just give him alone.
Would Falbala be one of the?
Not in the original.
Yeah, the originals TNA people.
I'm gonna guess maybe because Chris Harris or James Storm.
They showed up.
Back.
Yeah.
You could do something like
Jeff Jarrett. Well, no, you can't.
You can't do Jeff Jarrett.
Monty Brown.
That's Ric Flair's retirement match now.
No, he wasn't in the original. You could be Kid Cash, maybe.
Yeah.
You could
Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, he was in the original.
Maybe
with this cool looking eye right.
Samoa Joe, if they get him, yeah.
I'm thinking like early. I know I want
real early.
I want weekly pay-per-view. Michael Shane. How about Michael Shane? Helix Skipper.
All right. Well, we are at the 2-hour mark. We knew this was going to go long because of a lot of wrestling news that happened this week, and the club is
a big deal.
A big deal, and it has a lot of history, and we definitely wanted to didn't skip over things. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and then now it's getting a little more life because now the club has the main title
champion,
again. Yeah.
So I know who it's not going to be, by the way. The Masked X.
Oh yeah,
because he's on the other team.
Maybe it'd be Suicide.
Oh,
that'd be funny. And then Suicide's.
Wait. Suicide's already on that team.
No,
I said Frankie Kazarian.
Was TJP busy?
Yeah.
Is Daniels busy?
Yeah. Is anyone that can fit in the costume?
Aries? He was.
No.
Aries was.
I think he was once or twice.
Time.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah.
I don't think Austin Aries is going to be there.
Didn't Austin Aries jump when Hogan? Wasn't he the guy when Hogan was?
That was TJP.
That was TJP.
Yeah.
I thought he did it one time where he showed off.
Oh, and also the women's match is a Queen of the Mountain match. So that's a ladder match.
With like
it's like a reverse battle royal. It's a ladder match where we win by hanging the title.
You have to hang the belt up.
God.
Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah, that's
terrifying.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of gimmicks on this match in the show.
Oh, maybe they hired Russo.
Bro.
The
reverse battle royal and the King of the Mountain match are both his ideas.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, you got the plug.
So tomorrow, if you're listening, I'll be wrestling in Sunbury, WXW, Samu's Fed. Yeah.
Is that your first time there?
I wrestled. I'm talking about at Allentown one time. Sean Carr I wrestled actually for WXW. It's at the ice rink in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and the bell time is 7. And Homicide is there, and Virgil is there.
Virgil,
yeah.
Virgil just announced for Legends of Hamburg.
Yeah.
And I have nothing Saturday.
Who are you wrestling?
Sometimes they make the cards when you get there. So
tag match.
Yeah, tag match. Yeah, but that's all I know.
Yeah. That it?
That's it.
Brian.
Project200.com is where you will find Murder My Dude. You can just look it up wherever you find this podcast. True crime and comedy. The last episode was a little more serious than normal. We talked about mass shootings. We talked about LGBT crimes. So there are some things that We kind of touched some hot buttons. We do have a new episode coming out next Friday. It's a bi-weekly show, so this is our week off. I believe the next show will not be for the faint of heart. It is somebody called a Tourniquet Killer. So if you're kind of sensitive about children being victimized, this might be one to skip. But we'll make it work. You try to include humor in dark situations, which makes the show cackling into the abyss, as I always say. We're cackling into the abyss,
not making fun of what happened, but exactly what you said. Kelly,
Truth Behind the Illusion. This past Tuesday, we done the Screaming Skulls of England's. Me, Andy, and Tony. Check that out. It was a fun one to do.
Dropped a new logo for that show, the cool tarot card, which came out really, really great. Thank you, Haley. The only thing I got, the IWEP Network. If you want to grab some merchandise, head over to our link tree there on the website, our website, and check out the shop. We got tons of logos there. If you guys enjoy the logos and you like seeing them and you're like, well, who could the next batch be? You know what would really help a guy who's kind of unemployed at this moment? Find some t-shirts so we can pay for the next batch of logos
or whatever. There's lots of merchandise on Redbubble.
Yeah, if you like any of the shows, they're all on there. But help us out with some of that, or you can make a donation, or you can sign up for the Patreon. It helps us grow, and we do have some ideas for the next logo, but they cost money because our artists don't work for free as they shouldn't.
We're fine, you know.
I like to show off talent and get some cool. And
this is his version of getting different gear.
I could use the same logo for 40 years.
I also like to give local artist support, so that's where I look at it more.
Maybe if they add you on Facebook. Oh,
yeah, it happens. Don't be a creep. I don't know. I'm joking.
I wasn't.
I know you weren't, but I think what happens is a lot of females on social media, if they don't personally know the person, they don't add. I'm at the point now where if I don't know you, I don't add you on Facebook.
Yeah, but it's just fine.
I guess I should go there because I've been adding people. I'm like, oh, this is.
I get a lot.
Do you know how awesome it is now that I have my friends list to where I want it? Oh my god, it makes Facebook such a better place.
I couldn't tell you because pretty much everybody on my friends list is somebody I know personally.
I don't give a shit. Like the things I like come up, and that's all I care about.
When I had
I could have 4 friends or 4,000.
When I was, I don't even know how many. 5,000 people. Oh, it was fucking terrible. I hated it.
Well, it's like you gotta interact with stuff you like, so that way you don't
like 4,000 people.
I was close to the max.
Here, well, how do you find out how much you have? I'll look right now, see what I'm at.
Go to your.
As long as my Elizabeth Olsen pictures come up, then I'm happy.
Well, your algorithm. That's your algorithm.
How do you see where your friends?
Now it's doing it to you too.
Yeah. That's your algorithm. Like if you keep liking and looking and clicking on that, that's what it's going to give you.
I
don't interact a lot, so I get
4,431. I don't care.
I have 192.
Yeah, don't care.
And I pretty much know all of them.
I think I have around 400, but I'm going to go through again and go through.
Who has the time
to
do that?
It took a long time.
Oh, yeah. You have to get rid of me because I don't have the time. I'll just ignore you.
Yeah.
Like
I ain't got the time to do that. Like if I see somebody I don't like, I just unfollow.
Unfollow. Yeah, that's what I usually.
I can't even
unfollow
bother to do that.
Yeah. But usually, like when I go through my scrolls, my video games come up, my wrestling comes up.
Well, that's because your algorithm.
My Elizabeth Olsen comes up.
What you
Alexa,
like,
and I'm fine.
Yeah, I would get 14 friend requests every week.
I get a bunch. I just ignore them. Unless it's someone I know, I click on and it says like wrestling or the wrestler. I'll add any wrestler.
I have 448 people now,
and I used to add local people too. Unless you're like you got a real weird profile, or if you have no pictures. Or if you have pictures of
there's a lot of people that got deleted that I probably shouldn't have, but if your photo is like a dog and I don't know who because I meet so many people I forget names.
Have a photo of yourself.
And listen, there's a lot of people who I like in the wrestling business. I just don't follow everybody anymore.
Yeah, have to.
Yeah.
I never follow people. I wait for them to follow me. I think that's why my count's so low. I couldn't tell you the last person I sought out to follow.
I don't really. I look up more like
I'll like pages if I want to support like a business.
Yeah, that's why I look like rather add friends.
I like too many pages too.
I go to like comic book page, like this new comic book, and I'll follow that page. So I'm not following a person. It's more like a business.
So when you're scrolling through your feed, and was it like that for you too, that you'd see kind of like the pages and those things you like the video games or comic books for you. Like,
90% of my Facebook was political nonsense from 4,000.
Oh, really? See, I didn't see any.
Like I'd go to a wrestling show and I love every fan. Like I'm glad you're supporting, but 90% of these when you add me and your banner photo is a Confederate flag or anti-LGBTQ or
like if I see that came out, I just unfollow. Unfriend them.
And I would give and a lot of times too, I was so I don't want to say desperate, but I was like, oh, maybe they're trying to add me because they're trying to contact me for the joining the podcast or like being a guest on the podcast.
Some people just
so I just accepted, and I was like, oh well, maybe if I accept everybody, I'll get more attention on my podcast. It wasn't, and all it was just flooding my social media with garbage. Yeah. So I just cleared it, and I said, if you want to follow me, there's my business account or whatever, the like page.
Yeah,
and then I keep my circle smaller, and it made my Facebook experience a lot better.
Go on and click on them Elizabeth Olsen pictures.
I'm not that big of a fan of Elizabeth Olsen.
Well, pick your Elizabeth Olsen.
Have you seen Doctor Strange yet?
Yeah, I seen it in the theater.
Oh, you did?
He actually went to see that because that's his girl.
Yeah,
it was fantastic. All right, well that'll do it for us at Tornado Tag Podcast episode 161. Brian, remind the crowd one more time. What are we doing next week?
Next week, the New Japan stuff continues. We're going to be previewing Forbidden Door because it'll be a week from Sunday, and then we'll be talking about the ace himself, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. All right, we'll see you next week. Here's Tornado Tag Podcast. We're out of here.
Find your Elizabeth Olsen.
Find your.
Yeah, yours. It could be whoever you want.